Hello and welcome back to my playthrough of Trails from Zero. I'm starting here because it has a new title screen because of the next chapter, which, looking at this, and the title of the next chapter being Golden Sun and Silver Moon, it's probably related to the whole Arc-en-Ciel thing with her and her. I have no idea what it's going to be, but time to get started. I'm thinking today I might only get through like all the tons of introductory stuff that often exists, and I might not make main quest progress, but I'll see how it goes. He's got some nerve crawling back here. He almost looks friendly. Now he doesn't. You have any idea how much Mira we wasted bailing you out? Not exactly a walk in the park to go and bribe diet members. You know that, right? We're sorry, boss. We weren't expecting the police to show up all the way out there. No matter. Those guys call themselves the Special Support Section. Fabio, Morin. Were those rookies responsible for causing your dumbasses to screw up? Yes, sir. Them and those brats in the downtown district. Huh. I heard they were nothing more than a team of incompetent children. And you all managed to lose to them? You're utter failures. No. We'll get our revenge on them. We swear it. I've heard those damn kids use that rundown office building over in Central Square as their headquarters. Just say the word, and we'll raise their building, boss. You dumbasses. Eek. Does it look like I give a damn about some brats from the CPD? The only ones we need to focus on are crushing Heiue. Those damn Eastern Quarter pricks think they can waltz in here and take what Ravash owns. Well, now, Garcia. There's no need to get so worked up. I like that there's like a monster chest in the background. That's pretty funny. Go on. We may have lost a vital route to the Republic due to their interference the other day. What Heiue doesn't know is that we have connections with Speaker Hartman. Our stranglehold on Crossbow is airtight. But Dawn, one of their men could be a serious threat to us. We need to do something about that man dressed in black. That little assassin of theirs that you had some fun with. Imagine he's quite dexterous if he managed to handle a veteran Jaeger. I have no doubt in my mind that Cal spent a fortune hiring him. But Dawn, not to worry, Garcia. We've already begun planning countermeasures to deal with Heiue. Now that we know what the Warhounds are capable of, we'll be victorious next time. For now, we have more pressing concerns, like next month's auction, for example. I understand, Dawn. No matter how cocky those damn upstarts get, we absolutely cannot let them interfere with this year's auction. We can ignore the police and the guild. Neither of them can touch us, anyway. Ravash will take every possible measure to ensure we don't get caught off guard yet again by Heiue's damned assassin. Understood. It's kind of interesting, because I thought it was established that Heiue had a bunch of, like, territory, whatever, in the Empire, whereas Ravash only has Crossbell. It's like, we don't have context for the scale. But they have different resources entirely. I mean, that's kind of... They're jumping over 6 feet into the air. They can jump. Pant, pant, pant. Thank Eidos. I finally managed to pull it off. You sure did. That was great. Ilya.
Your
speed and timing are excellent. All you need to work on is matching the emotional tone as it changes in each section. Don't just follow the music lead. Take control of it and channel it through your performance. Do it with tranquility, purity, and majesty that only the Moon Princess can possess. Yes, understood. Ah. I'd like to be able to tell you that you need to get it together. But to be perfectly honest, I'm really impressed. Not a single person's been able to keep up with me during practice until now. This sprite looks like a villain. I think if they're a villain, it'd be kind of lame, because it feels like it would be a more interesting dynamic if she actually is friendly with the other girl whose name we don't know yet. Like, if they're actually friendly, that would be more interesting than if she's evil. You've really been working your tail off. I'm so proud. Thank you. That means a lot. Still, can't help but worry. What if I end up holding you back during a performance? Don't sweat it. You have talent to spare. Heck, I bet you've got a good chance of surpassing me one of these days. Come on, just trust in my judgment. You think I can surpass you? I mean, I can't really see that happening. It's just impossible. Well, I don't exactly intend on making it a walk in the park for you. You better hurry. Catch up to me as soon as you can. You'll be my rival, Rixia, a performer who I can finally compete with. I told you. I really don't think that's possible. Why am I even still here? I should already be back home by now, far away from Crossbell. Simple. The moment I caught you watching me practice, your fate was sealed. I'm never gonna let you go. Got it? Goddess help me. I've been kidnapped by a crazy dancer. Yeah, if she's just crazy, that would be a much more interesting character. Oh dear. Are you that exhausted? No, I'm okay. It's just, you know, I'm still worried about not being good enough. And there's that letter we have to deal with. Letter? What letter was that, again? The letter that was addressed to you. You know, the one from that Yin person. Oh, that one. What a load of garbage. It's just some stupid prank. If I let things like that get under my skin, I wouldn't be the star I am. But Ilya, listen up. After your debut, you're going to start getting mountains of fan letters yourself. There's definitely going to be some weird ones in there, so just toss those in the trash where they belong. Heck, it might even be worse for you. With that chest, I bet the boys will hardly be able to take their eyes off you. What a weird person. Hey, Ilya. Oh, sorry about that. I just couldn't help myself. Come on, Rixia. Let me just give him a little squeeze. It won't hurt, I swear. It'll be the opposite. Eidos. Oh. Cough, cough. Ahem. The butler-looking dude. Mr. Avon. Oh, it's you. Yes. You should watch yourself, Ilya. I appreciate you working so late. But could you spare us the inappropriate and unnecessary conduct? I'm just giving her a few pointers, that's all. It really is late, though, isn't it? Risha, why don't you spend the night at my apartment? I don't want to have you walking all the way to your place when it's this dark out. I promise it's not as dangerous as you make it out to be. Everyone there has been incredibly kind to me ever since I moved in. Like I keep telling you, they have ulterior motives. And she doesn't, definitely. Even on the best of nights, that area is just crawling with unsavory types. If they get a glimpse of that hot bod of yours, why, I can't imagine what they'd do. On second thought, no, I know exactly what they'd do. Because it's what she would do. Basically the same thing you were just doing? Ah, that's right. There's a call for you, Ilya. Oh, is it from her? Yes. Will you take it? But of course. Sorry, I'll be back in a bit. Oh, okay. That woman never changes. I thought she'd be the slightest bit disturbed by the letter, but I guess not. That's just Ilya for you. In everything she dazzles like a beautiful golden sun. Still, that just means she needs to be even more cautious of others. Yeah, that's the Golden Sun Silver Moon chapter title. Golden Sun and the Silver Moon. Pretty clear connection. Oh! This was in the headquarters. A little square magazine, I guess. Sorry to keep you waiting. No. It's no problem at all, Ilya. If I were to guess, you stayed after practice to mentor your favorite new dancer. And I'm sure your enthusiasm wore out poor Mr. Avon. I mean, this sounds like it might be her sister or something. Yo, what? No way, that's ridiculous. Oh, it's her. Cool. So anyway, what's up, Sissel? Kinda odd to get a call from you this late. There's no way she's a villain if she's friends with Cecil, right? Like, there's no chance she's a villain. Oh, right. I just wanted to thank you. You know, for the tickets you sent me. Oh, that's all? I know the hospital might keep you busy. Come if you can, okay? It's the first day of the anniversary festival, after all. Surely you'll be able to get that one day off, right? I'll figure something out. Also, I can't help but feel a little sorry. You got me tickets for opening night, and they're center row seats. Just one of the perks of being the star of the show. And besides, having my best friend come watch me perform is gonna put me at the top of my game. With you in the audience, there's no way I can afford to screw up. Hehe, that's so very like you to do well under pressure. In fact, it's almost like the more the pressure's on, the more fired up you get. You've got me there. Anyway, make sure you bring a sexy stud along with you. I mean, you work at St. Ursula, don't you? There should be plenty of promising bachelors hanging around there. Ooh, what a comment about work-life balance at a hospital. Hehe, maybe. I'm sorry. It's okay, Ilya. I know. I've stopped dwelling on the past. I see. Oh, that's right. Why don't you just invite that little brother of yours? Didn't he return to Crossbell just recently? Ah, you're talking about Lloyd. I wonder. He might be too busy with his work. Then again, I don't think he's ever seen one of your performances. This might be a good chance. Right? Drag him with you if you need to. Oh, sorry, Ilya. It's almost time for me to start my night shift. Thanks again for the tickets. I can't wait to see you perform. Good luck with practice. Give it all you've got, okay? You too, Cecil. Thanks for your talk to you later. It's been 3 years. But it seems it's still too soon for those wounds to heal. Let's see here. A list of major Imperial investment enterprises. That voice sounds like it's going to be like a kid detective. Speculation for Calvardian assets. Sales reports of the 3 largest pharma companies in Remtheria. And Liberal? Ah, the delivery destination of the newest orbital engine model. Oh, I love you, Crossbell. Information just flows into my open hands. A good haul, I'd say. I mean, he has the same hair color as Ilya, so there's a non-zero chance, but I think he might just be a bracer. This job was a walk in the park. But he's probably not a bracer. A proper search of the database was all I need to dish up that info my client wanted. Since those idiots running the net don't even realize how important security is, I can do whatever I want online. I really am living life on easy mode. Like, he's not a detective, he's a hacker type. Except in like the early age of the unsecured internet. Yuck. Cold pizza? I'd rather die. It's like I've always said, information and pizza are best served hot. What a weird... Let's see. Any farther and I'll be in a private network. Maybe I should just hack the IBC's main terminal. That should give me some hints on Kitty's identity. Yeah, I love my life. And he's about to get caught by Tio, right? Huh? An orb mail. Dear Mr. Jonah Sacred, placing my trust in your skills is a matter I'd like to discuss with you. Now where'd this come from? Definitely wasn't sent from any of the big official terminals. Redirected from a router in the Harbor District, huh? Heyu Trading. Yeah! Yin, huh? That's what I like to see. Things are starting to heat up now. There's gonna be some like event where he tries to hack the one at the SSS headquarters, but it's gonna be mostly fine because Tio's gonna catch it because she's competent. Golden Sun, Silver Moon. So I assume this arc is gonna be all about whatever letter was sent to Ilya. Yeah, so I'm mostly today gonna go through talking to all the different people, picking up quests, doing what quests can be, like side quests can be done, and trying to get all that sorted today. We're back. Home sweet home. Hey, you two. Oh, you guys made it back before us? Well, all we did was sort a few documents down at the precinct. You and I even had time to make a lovely lunch afterwards. Oh, you made enough for 4? It doesn't look like it, but they probably already ate. If you're okay with simple pasta and salad. Sounds delicious. Thanks, guys. Actually, do they even have... Where's their kitchen? Is it that room in the back there? Of course. Now go wash your hands, you two. And I'll get your plates ready. I don't think I saw a kitchen. But maybe there was. Maybe that's the one on the left there. Oh, that reminds me. Lloyd, Randy. You assisted with traffic control, correct? How did it go? It was definitely harder than expected. We ended up having to push every illegally parked car to the designated area. Boy, the entertainment district was chock full of them. The whole place is buzzing about the new show that just got announced. Now that you mention it, Arc-en-Ciel has been the talk of the town lately. Aren't they debuting their new show next month? Yep, Golden Sun, Silver Moon. I wanted to pick up some tickets for opening night, but the damn things are already sold out. I have to settle for B-section tickets for a show 2 months from now. Is Arc-en-Ciel really that popular? I am aware of how famous the lead star, Ilya Platier, is, but aside from that, it could be Platieri. That's also possible. You know, I think I actually saw an Arc-en-Ciel show a long time ago. I've never seen... Platier, yeah, they went with French. I've never seen Ilya perform, though. And to think you're supposed to be our leader. There's 2 kinds of people in this world. Those who've seen Ilya Platier's show, seen an Ilya Platier show, and those who haven't. Your Daily Wisdom by Randy Orlando. It's like saying, oh, there's 2 types of people in this world. Those who have eaten eggs and those who haven't. She really is amazing though. Once you see her perform, it's almost as if she takes hold of your heart and refuses to let go. If there really are legitimate geniuses out there, Ilya Platier is no doubt one of them. Oh, consider my interest piqued. On another note, I have been curious as to why we've had so much work come in lately. Could Arc-en-Ciel have something to do with that? Well, the anniversary festival and debut of Arc-en-Ciel's new show are scheduled to overlap. The CPD is bound to get busier than other years, with all that going on at once. Even so, let's not forgetting it's all the odd jobs and busy work no one at HQ wants to deal with. More or less, yeah. But still, you can't say we haven't been getting more important jobs compared to when we first started. Even the Crossbell Times hasn't written any nasty articles on us recently. It does not stop them from comparing us to the Bracers, though. More specifically, Estelle and Joshua, who had already, saved a country a year ago, so, it's not really a fair comparison. Yeah, I know. How can two Bracers accomplish so much? Perhaps they're just so efficient because they're coordinating with other Bracers. And they've been in the business for much longer. There's 4 of us. We don't have the luxury of requesting backup from the rest of the force. Actually, as far as I can tell, Joshua seems like the key behind that duo. He's able to provide any kind of backup that Estelle needs after she runs headfirst into danger. Thinking about it, it's pretty crazy how in sync the two of them are, both in battle and their Bracer work in general. Seems like they've been at it a while too. It's clear they've got loads of experience. Unlike us, it seems we still have a long way to go. Yeah, I don't remember the time frames, but the first 2 games definitely took place over at least several months, whereas this game's only been a few months at most now, so not really a fair comparison. Okay, come on guys, we've come a long way already. We've even earned ourselves a reliable ally. I think it would have been cute if they just had the dog sitting under the table. Speaking of Zeit, where is he? I don't think I've seen him today. All I know is that he spent all of yesterday on the roof sunbathing. Great when he tags along and chows down on some monsters for us, but I can only imagine what he gets up to the rest of the day. As you can tell, he is a very proud wolf. I suspect he does not see any value in adhering to our human rules. Seeing as he's registered as a police dog, I wish he'd at least abide by a few of them. At first, I thought the locals would scream when they saw a massive wolf like him out in public. But who would have thought he'd end up saving a kid from a car wreck? Oh yes, those kids again. Why do all the cars like that have cat ears? What is the purpose of those pipes if not to make them look like cat ears? It could be dog ears too, but I remember hearing that terrible sound outside and not knowing what was going on. I still can't believe the truck lost control and smashed into a fence like that. It absolutely should have rolled off the edge there. Yeah, good thing Zeit was nearby. Ryu would have been right in the truck's path if he hadn't grabbed him. Hey, you think Zeit can give Arios a run for his money? He sure would. With that accident, he'd become quite a celebrity on West Street. Not to mention, Ryu and the other kids have become especially attached to him. Well, I can't blame him. Still, we can't use Zeit's popularity as a crutch. We've got to earn the people's trust on our own. Agreed. Won't be a walk in the park, you know. But anyway, how about we spend the rest of the day finishing up support requests? Tio learned special craft Summon Zeit. When used in battle, Zeit will appear as a support character on the AT bar. There may be times when this craft cannot be used, however. Interesting, that's kind of fun. Yeah, so there's the kitchen. And they just have gas, jerry cans just sitting here, right beside their stove. An accident waiting to happen. At least put them over here, away from the stove. Check requests. Ooh, an urgent. Old road property monster extermination. Chief Tota. Village's property has been overrun by monsters. We've locked them in, but it's still very dangerous there. I hope the special support section can take back the property from the monsters. I'll explain the details at my house in Armorica. Please meet me there. Enigma combat test. We've been doing that already, but Orbital Store, we are looking for people to assist with testing the Enigma in real combat. Though there's no risk in applying, we are seeking those familiar with the Enigma. Applicants, please ask for Wendy at the Orbital Store's customer service counter on the first floor. Guardian Force Trill participation. Oh, it's the classic fight with the military for some reason. Deputy Commander Bales, 3000 Mira. The Deputy Commander of Tangram Gates Forces requests your participation in a live combat drill with our new Guardsman recruits. For more details, please stop by the Tangram Gate Command Room. West Crossbell Highway Monster Extermination. State Government. Dangerous monsters, Nepenthes G, have been sighted on West Crossbell Highway. We ask that the Special Support Section deal with this threat swiftly. If you attack them simultaneously, they will retaliate fiercely. Try to take them out one by one. Are these the, like, when you hit them, it triggers them to Earthquake, so if you hit all of them at once, all of them will Earthquake at once, and your entire team will be one shot? I don't think that's what those are. I thought those were, like, worms. Actually, I want to see what, if I do this, nothing, right? Good. Okay. So, there's new equipment, there's new quartz. Battle report can be shown. I can show fishing, but I don't think I have enough new fishing, but... Buses are now unlocked to fast travel. That's good. Oh yeah, like this is where these games get kind of crazy, because looking at a list of optional events. In the previous chapter, it was like Central Square, West Street, East Street, everything within Crossbell City proper. But this one here even has like, there's events that if you travel to St. Ursula Medical College, like you have to travel everywhere if you don't want to miss anything. Give me new stuff here. Looks like those Ravash guys that got arrested have already been let go. Ados, you'd think the CPD could hold their ground for even a damn minute. Isn't this just setting a bad example for the citizenry too? Respectable. Do I, like... Okay, if I look here... Is there a compare button? No. I mean, it might be worth picking up weapons, because... Yeah, 90 to 110, 95 to 131. It might be worth picking up these weapons. Oh, hers doesn't get much of an upgrade. It's only 15. I guess she's just not a good hit. She's AoE, so her damage number is a lot lower. That's reasonable. Randy goes up by 21. I guess a lot of damage. Ooh, prevents death blows might be nice. And I don't want that, because I think the boots I have, the 10%, the 5% evasion might be worth more. Keyword being might. Wait, that's done there. Oh, I need to check out the, like, trading store. Does she think it's Lloyd? Hiya! Hey there, Mimi. Glad to hear you finally remembered my name. Of course, you're Lloyd and, the others from the special sports section. No, that's not exactly right. It's a special support section. Just a moment. Why does she only remember Lloyd's name? Proud of you, Lloyd. I never thought you'd be able to leave a stronger impression than me. Impression? What are you talking about? I do kind of want to talk to that every time and hope that the joke adjusts gradually, and like every time one more person gets remembered, but never Randy. Ah, Lloyd and the SSS, welcome. Hey Wendy, we're just stopping by to handle a request. There was someone here who wants us to do a combat test for the Enigma, right? I'm just trying to check if it might be better to delay this, but it doesn't look like there's anything saying it should be delayed, so it's probably fine to start right away. Okay, yeah, nothing problematic. Oh, that? Yeah, I submitted that request. the Foundation wanted us to test out something on the Enigma. And who better to try it out than the people who actually use it? I didn't realize it'd be you guys, though, and I really appreciate your help. I don't think this game has the, like, key quartz or, like, major central quartz, right? We're more than happy to lend a hand. It's definitely not, that's definitely a incorrect sentence. It would either be we'd be more than happy to lend a hand, or we're more than happy to lend a hand. I think we'd be more than happy to lend a hand is better text. It is what it is. So, what exactly do these Enigma tests entail? It's not going to be too complicated, so don't worry. First, I want you to install a new benchmark program onto your Enigma units. You lost me. Presumably it's a program to read info. The Epstein Foundation, the creators of the Enigma orbments, are scouting out ideas for the system. The Enigma is still brand spanking new and isn't widespread yet, you know. And the folks at the Foundation are still fine-tuning the specs. They want reports on its efficiency. Therefore, the Foundation developed this benchmark program. On a basic level, the program collects data on the orbment's durability and efficiency, making troubleshooting issues easier. Oh, that's right, Teotot. You're part of the Foundation, right? You heard anything about all this? No. I was on the Orbital staff development team, not the Enigmas. My current task is conducting combat tests with the Orbital staff, remember? Oh, yeah. You did mention that before. Sounds like the Foundation is conducting a lot of tests for their dev teams. Either way, I finished writing up most of the evaluations, but I'm having some issues with the combat benchmarks. Well, I could probably just half-ass a test real quick on my own, but... As an engineer, I know how nice it is to get real feedback from experienced users. Ah, and that's where your request comes in. That's plenty for you. Alright, we accept. Thanks, Lloyd. You're a lifesaver. Aha, I wouldn't go that far. It doesn't seem like it'll be too difficult after all. So, what exactly do you want us to do? Right, it should be a walk in the park. I just want you to try casting the art that conceals you from enemies. Apparently, it's an art that's only possible to use with the Enigma. An art that conceals you from your enemies. So all we need to do is cast that correctly, and that's that. Judging by the effect, it must be an exceptionally special art. Excuse me. We will have to take care to arrange our quartz combination correctly. I mean, maybe not. Right, we'll leave all that stuff to you, Teotot. So, once we get that squared away, we just gotta test how the art works in the field, right, eh? Yes, that seems to be the case. While we're at it, this is a good opportunity to start getting acquainted with our Enigmas. I mean, a good opportunity would have been 1-2 months ago. Good luck, everyone. Once you've confirmed the art's effect, come report all the details to me. Thanks. Quest Enigma combat test started. So I need... Wait, let's do this legitimately. I'm looking for... Do I need to go here? Combat? No. Detective, help manual, no lists. Mirage. Time. Time, water, earth comboed. Is it just not on the list, maybe? Mirage. I mean, stealth would be 5 Mirage, 3 water, 3 earth. which would be easiest to get on her because she has the best slot. So, but he has 1, 2 Mirage in place. I need, oh no, 3 green, which is wind. 3 water, 3 green. Okay, let's do it on her because it'll be the easiest. So 3 water, she already has plenty of water. 1 Mirage, 1 green. So I need more green. I need 2 more wind, and 2 more Mirage. She has detection, which is 2 Mirage, so I'll take that off. And she had, can I equip blind? I don't think so, but I can swap out mute for blind, and it should be fine. Yeah, swap hit for detection. Now I have, no, I'm too short on Mirage. I need 2 more Mirage. I need 5 Mirage, 3 water. That's 2 more Mirage. EP cut is 1. EP is 2. She already has EP cut. But I only need 2 more anyway. So this can be swapped for EP. 5, 4, 4 is good. That gives me Holosphere, which is stealth. And I need to go find a battle and use the art. But before that, what new quartz can I synthesize? Oh, that's right. Do you guys happen to have any high-level quartz? What's that exactly? They're quartz that are too powerful to set in a normal slot. In order to set them, the slot itself needs to be strengthened. I'm actually still learning the ropes on high-level quartz synthesis myself, so I can't help you make any just yet. But I can definitely enhance the slot for you. If you ever need help with that, just let me know. You can now upgrade your slots. So yeah, I think it's probably expected to reach full slot upgrades by now. Slot unlocks by now. If you select slot, then choose a slot that is already opened. You can upgrade its level. In addition to gaining the ability to set high-level quartz, your maximum EP is also increased. Let's just see how expensive it is. It's pretty pricey. I could do it a bit. How expensive does the most expensive get? 800. That is expensive. I mean, I might upgrade some of these, but for now I want to see what new quartz is available. Okay, so defense 2, HP 2, shield 2, just the 2 variants of basically everything. Action 2, that's pretty good. EP cut 2? No EP cut 2. No EP cut 2 yet, that's a shame. Okay, I think the only thing that I would look for here is like action 2. So I might just open up some more slots, just 1 for each of them. 1 upgrade each? Sure. And that's that. That gave a lot of EP for them. Like, that is a significant increase. So I need to find somewhere to go for combat. Supposedly... No. I'm not going to do that combat quest yet. I'm going to go through the optional events in this area. That's not what I meant to click. I meant to click this. Lloyd, Randy, thank you for helping me with traffic control. Oh, sorry. That was way too informal. I'm saying way too is already informal. That was much too informal. Detective Bannings in the Special Support Section. Thank you for your cooperation with traffic control. Come on, Kate. You really don't need to treat us like that. We're friends. Besides, you've always had our backs, too. Why wouldn't we return the favor? I suppose you make a good point. Next time I'm in a bind, I hope you won't mind bailing me out again. For sure. Just give us a ring, and we'll be there. Thanks, guys. You're the best. Well then, back to the job. I hope the rest of your day goes well. So, I need to go to the department store to buy the next Crossbell Times, which I probably should be reading as I go. But I feel like reading it all at the end might be more fun. Just have like a quick summary of the events. You there, please listen to me. I begged Southwark to save some Arc-en-Ciel tickets for me, but he told me they're all sold out. I thought I could score them pretty easily since I work here. Haha, sorry about that. There's a protocol I have to follow. I wasn't able to buy any for myself either. Don't feel too bad about it, Jeanette. I'll make it up to you later. Really? Fine. Take me on a date, then. Sure. Is that really all you want, though? Crossbow times number 3. Ooh, elegant vase. Only 1k. I might buy it, but I won't. Actually, you know what? I'll forget to buy it later, but supposedly the guide I'm following has a reminder, so... How old is Mom? She's freaking out over brands like a teenager. Crossbow has brand name shops from all over Zemuria. Too bad I can't afford any of it, even if I tap into my secret savings. What a weird character. Do you place more importance in comfort or durability? On comfort and durability, or style and design in your clothing? Each customer has their own preference, so the possibilities are endless. It's up to you to decide what type of clothes work best for you. Denim jacket, sunny blouse, still nothing new. I guess this might never get new gear, which would be fine, but it's sort of shopping. Most games, I feel like shopping's never worth it. I think these games shopping is fairly regularly worthwhile. I had a trader come by earlier trying to sell my art. I declined though. To be honest, they were all fairly poor quality. Oh, did I misread that? Trying to sell me art. Not my art. Okay, I misread it. Perhaps it's just me, but I've always felt those who make art solely for the sake of money lack the passion required to make truly great art. This one here. I kind of want to get it because I feel like there might be a set eventually, but maybe not. Is this the woman running around? Yep. She's just doing laps. The Crossbow Guardian Force's headquarters can be found at Belgard Gate. Apparently they've got the latest and greatest equipment, but they haven't had the chance to make a name for themselves. They're stuck doing plain old guard duty. And then the shoes. Are there new shoes? Your occupation has you walking around all day. So you should treat your feet to a dependable pair of shoes. The right pair of shoes can make a big difference when it comes to post-work exhaustion. Still no shoes. Still no new shoes. Guess it's not worth checking those. Let's talk to this dude again. Welcome to Time's department store. Please speak to the receptionist at the information desk if there is anything specific you're looking to purchase. I hope you have a wonderful shopping experience with us. Pretty wild that the manager is sitting at the front here instead of just in an office doing nothing. My parents are making me take care of all the shopping. If they couldn't spare me a single mira of extra spending money, they gave me the exact amount needed to cover the shopping list, so I can't buy myself anything. Sometimes I hate how thorough my parents can be. Anything new? My daughter runs a juice stall. Hey, that's fun. At home, she's been boasting about how she's already gotten a handle on the business. If you ask me, she still has a long way to go. Before long, she'll learn that the path of a merchant is a treacherous one. Ingredients. I probably should buy a bunch of ingredients and cook stuff. It's probably worthwhile to do. So, what do you want to do today? Wandering around times like usual sounds totally lame. I would suggest we get tea somewhere. But my wallet is like mega low on Mira. Guess we're stuck in our usual routine of window shopping at the department store. I have just... I won't talk to you. If I had to pick Crossbow's greatest charm, I'd have to say it'd have to be the city's liveliness. For example, when the festival arrives, kids and the elderly alike get positively giddy. Next month, we'll celebrate Crossbow's 70th anniversary. Is it even possible to outdo last year's? I actually want to talk to this guy. I, like so many others, wasn't able to snag tickets for Arc-en-Ciel's new show. The line for them at the department store was nearly 100 yards long, and all the other places that have had tickets sold out immediately. So I just remembered I didn't want to miss feeding the cat because it's necessary. It's important. and not feeding the cat would be rude. Can I talk? Meow. Let's give him... I know they have different rewards depending on them. I don't think I had snow crab last time. Let's give him a snow crab. Totally reasonable food to give a cat. A solid snow crab. Punya. Mind one. Giving us a gift, eh? Thanks, Cope. Where in the world did you find this, though? I actually hope there is like a reveal that he's been like stealing. That'd be pretty fun. Is Randy's room? Does this look alright? Oh, this is Ellie. Why? A new decoration was added to Ellie's room. When Lloyd finds decorations, he can give them to each of the members to display in their rooms. What decoration? Did I buy that? I don't know. Like, I genuinely have blanked somehow. Look at these pillows. Wait. Whose bed? I mean, I assumed this was Tio's room because of cats and stuff. Because of her, like, mechanical ears. And because I was pretty sure Tio and Ellie were on the same floor. I need to put the darts up in his room. There. Not too shabby. New decoration was added to Randy's room. Peace. I don't want to spend even a moment longer. A moment more in his room than necessary. So. The Fed Cope. New equipment, new stuff to synthesize. I need to show the notebook and I need to show the other notebook. But those are low priority. Go to West Street. I should check in here. She's still just chilling here. Welcome, what can I get you? Ah, how lovely. I hear that it was an absolute frenzy of people scrambling to try and snag tickets for Alconciel's new show. Yet another example of the common folk not knowing when to give up. It's much smarter to save yourself the effort when you know your odds are slim. That makes it seem like she might just be a sore loser. But she's probably not. She just sits at this cafe every day, drinking. With the festival fast approaching, we've begun to receive reservation after reservation. Frankly, they're making it somewhat tough to coordinate. Stocking up on the proper ingredients, designing the restaurant's decorations. We've certainly got quite a lot on our plate. He probably doesn't sell anything new? No. He sells food that I could use, but I would rather make it myself. Whew, finally. I thought that lunch rush was never gonna end. Since the festival's almost here, business has been getting way too hectic. Still, it doesn't seem to faze Braun in the slightest. He always has the time to spare after orders. Man, what's his secret? Look at this. Probably not a pumpkin, but it's a squash of some variety. I don't know if you can get blue pumpkins. I assume not, but... Or gourd, not a squash. It could be a gourd. The anniversary festival is just 1 month away. It's probably safe to say that it's going to be another busy year. And then I wonder if that couple up above is still there. No. I kind of wonder how their honeymoon meal went. Ooh, a group of 3. Do we know these people? I don't think so. So, how about this weather, huh? Oh, are they getting divorced? Talk about clear and... ... Guys, you have to talk. The conversation isn't going anywhere like this. How about the weather? Same stuff. Like, he's a mediator, which implies that it's like... Though, I mean, they could be rich and they could be mediating their, like... dating. Instead of mediating, like, a divorce. So let's turn to the far room, visiting these folks. He's not back yet. Hi, Auntie Lette. It's been a while. Sorry I haven't been able to stay in touch. I've been really busy lately. Well, if it isn't Lloyd and his friends. I heard you've been working your butts off lately. Didn't you get featured in the Crossbell Times? Hee hee, I'm so proud of you. Now, come here and tell me all about it. But of course, ma'am. I'll recount my heroic exploits to you and spare no detail. It was certainly a lot of work. Please contact the SSS if you ever find yourself in need of assistance. Great PR. Hold on, everyone. Don't you have the slightest bit of shame? Haven't you all been acting way too friendly with my aunt? Oh, don't be so stingy. She's Cecil's mother, isn't she? Or Cecil? I'll go Cecil, probably. Yeah, man. She treats us like family and feeds us. Why are you killing the vibe? Listen to your friends, Lloyd. There's no need to be a stranger. That goes to the rest of you, too. Come by anytime you'd like. We'd be more than happy to have you. You betcha. Thank you, ma'am. Roger. They've all made themselves way too comfortable here. Doodaloo-doo. Bet there's not a lot in these rooms. It's just gonna be the kids from West Street and the residential district have Sunday school today. Which means that it's Sunday today? It'd be nice if I could get Ryu to treat his studies a little more seriously. Pretty rough working on a Sunday. Ooh, no one's home. Which means we can steal all their stuff. It's such a weird, like... I know it's like that, and I mean, people do display plates like that, but... It's weird that they're just boring plates. Like, there's nothing... I mean, the two in the back are neat, but the ones in the front are just, like, standard ceramic-looking plates. I mean, they don't even have a sink. All they have is a range, no sink. Where do they get their water from? Obviously, it's just a way of establishing us, like, the tone. It doesn't need to have everything. You can feel the city livening up now that the anniversary festival is fast approaching. Did you guys know that this year marks Crossbell's 70th anniversary as a state? I'm willing to bet that they're going to pull out all the stops for this year's festival. Why did they give this guy a name? Why does he have a name Burke? There's plenty of people that don't have names. Is she still creeping? Nice! They've put out this month's signature bread. This bakery's signature creations are to die for. My feet are just carrying me back here. My feet just keep carrying me back here. Keep this secret from my parents, will you? We don't know who you are. We don't know who your parents are. Let's skip you. Let's talk to her first. The first step to baking a good bread is to pick out the right ingredients. All sorts of goods are more readily available since the introduction of the Transcontinental Railroad. I think I'll try using flour, reduced in orrid state this time. I feel like I can make some great bread from it. Hey, the gang's here to visit again. Heard you guys popular. The customers have been chit-chatting about you lately. Haha, I'm flattered. We've mostly been doing simple support requests to help out the citizens. It may be a grind sometimes, but it's nice to see that our efforts are appreciated. You know who's even more popular though? That puppy yours. He's the talk of the town. Zeit? I should have figured. Ever the glory hound. I catch a glimpse of him when I'm working in the morning and think to myself, damn, that's one cool looking canine. You gotta introduce me sometimes, man. You know I love dogs. What a weird interaction. Special bacon roll. 2000 HP. And this can be relevant. Anyone back here? Welcome. Feel free to take your time and look around. We've got our latest monthly signature bread out on the shelves too. This type of coffee would probably go well with the monthly special. Here's the recipe if you want to brew it yourself. Thick espresso. I assume that means like a lot of like coffee, like espresso coffee, as opposed to it being like thick, like molasses, because that would be pretty gross. I don't drink coffee, but molassesy texture for a drink that is hot especially would be so off-putting. If you continue along this road, you'll find yourself on the West Crossbell Highway. You'll find Bellegarde Gate at the end of the road, set up right beside our border with the Empire. You'll often find transport trucks passing through there. Is it the same thing? As per tradition, I create a coaster of the anniversary festival every year. I've been doing it for 20 years now. I'm grateful that I'm able to continue doing what I do. They're still drinking wine. I appreciate how everyone is feeling more festive as the anniversary festival approaches. I can't sit still. I need to do stuff. I need to do stuff. I think the carpet needs replacing. So yeah, that's like, he just constantly remodels his room, except it never really changes appearance. Him again. Construction has picked up to a rapid pace in preparation for next month. Next month is the festival celebrating Crossbow's 70th anniversary, so eyes from all nations will be on us. Anyone who owns property is going to be trying their hardest to impress during it. I wish they would talk with something else. It seems that Ilya girl from Arc-en-Ciel is incredibly popular. Since Sammy spends every waking moment talking about her, I feel like I know everything there is to know about the girl. I wonder who Sammy is. Oh, her. Okay. I managed to score tickets for next month's Arc-en-Ciel performance. But, unfortunately, they're B-section seats. Sheesh. After I went through such great lengths to get them, too. Still not allowed in. We will eventually be allowed in, I assume. Either in this game or the next. Oh, the kid's not here. Maybe I should talk to Mr. Grimwood? Yeah. Let's talk to the kid again. We've been getting more appointments than usual as of late. It must be due to the odd influx of accidents and legal disputes this year. It's definitely gotten more hectic here, that's for sure. It's all, you know, more people. Oh, hello everyone. It's been a while. I've been hearing a lot of stories about the special support section. It seems you've all been working hard since we last met. We've been doing our best. We still can't hold a candle to someone like you, sir. Yeah, those Ravache thugs we caught were basically bailed out as soon as their rights were read. Well, it's common knowledge that the Mafia are deeply ingrained in cross-balance society. I don't think that's quite the right sentence. Like, if they're deeply ingrained in cross-balance society, that would be implying that the populace as a whole is protective of them, I think. Whereas this is more they have their roots in the political side of Crossbow. But it is what it is. That being said, I believe your actions have drawn out the light that was dimming in a great many of the citizens' hearts. I, too, was snapped out of that daze. Thank you, Mr. Grimwood. Your words mean more than you could ever know. Ha ha ha, oh no. I'm the one who should be thanking you. Keep up the good work, Special Support Section. That's a big teapot. This dude... My little Momo loves to read. She's recently began delving into this one novel series. She only managed to get her hands on a few of the volumes, though. I can't bear to see a frown on her little face, so I ordered the missing volumes for the store. Want to give them a go? They might just get their hooks in ya. Fair warning, though. You only have a few volumes in stock. Presumably, Back Alley Dr. Glenn already owned that. Yeah, I think it's like... It seems like it's much more forgiving with these books so far, because there's been opportunities to purchase Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 at an increased price. So I think it's like, if you miss it, you have one opportunity to buy it again, and if you don't buy it then, you just can't get it. Which is still better than what it was in some of the other ones, where if you don't go out of your way to find it, you're done. Mom was at Sunday school today. She's such a shy girl that I'm worried if she's getting along with the other kids or not. I'll have to ask the sister about how she's holding up in class the next time I go. I like this song. It's repetitive, but it's not the worst repetitive song. Wait, is that just a hot dog? No, it's just a loaf of bread. That's better than a hot dog. Sitting on a table. I'm a pretty handsome guy. Why aren't I getting invited to any parties? Well, I racked my brain and figured it out. I straight up suck at dancing. I need to practice, and fast. Eric may have his moments of frivolity, but he's a kind, considerate young man at heart. Cindy can be a precocious one, yes, but her boundless cheer can turn around the worst of days, and she's excellent with housework. As for Henri, he's been smiling so brightly these days. It could light all of Crossfell. Being surrounded by my grandchildren makes this old gal as happy as can be. They're the best gifts my son has ever given me. Oof. So this is her son. There was a girl down here, and then Henri might be one of the kids we've seen, but the girl's not here right now. Oh, Harold's out. Car's not in. Oh, he's going on a trip with his family? Nope. Oh, this is her, the girl from 2 doors down. I apologize, but I have something to attend to tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's a church day, right? You attend mass every week, don't you, Sophia? That's pretty amazing. I'm not sure I'd call it amazing. I wonder if it's some sort of like atonement for, you know, their daughter. The main dish of today's class is going to be salmon stew. Isn't it wonderful to cook alongside all your friends? Give me the recipe. We always throw ourselves a bit of a tea party after cooking class ends. Everyone seems to be having a lot of fun talking today. Sadly, I don't get a salmon stew recipe. Little kid. Today is Mama's cooking class. It's so much fun. Colin, best character. I always help out Mama and everyone else if they need it. What a friendly kid. It's a splendid day today, isn't it? Representative Campbell just took off in an unbelievably luxurious orbital vehicle. You know, come to think of it, they'll be holding the Diet meeting before long. Crossbell's politicians and members of the Diet are about to get a whole lot more busy. And then is there going to be another reaction? No, boring. I want to taunt Ellie. Oh, this is the cat. Yay. Eek, Mary, that tickles. I bet Mary's the most spoiled kitty to ever live. Mary gets lonely if I don't pet her every once in a while. Nya nya. Very happy cat. That's good. Our company's performance has been spectacular. We're even opening up a new branch office in the Cruisin' province of Eastern Arabonia next month. So, I wonder if that's referenced in Cold Steel. What to do? The management at my company asked if I'd be interested in becoming a branch manager. I have to give them an answer, but I'm just not sure. That would be pretty fun if he becomes the branch manager and he's like a side character in the Cold Steel series. I mean, it's going to be the same Representative Campbell, dilapidated house, rich guy who I'm not going to bother talking to because he's rude. Any reason to go to the casino? Doesn't look like it. I mean, there might be people to talk to, but like, it's not a listed important part, and I don't really feel like going into the casino. I should check if there's anything new to trade for. Nope, wrong one. Trade. Ultimate mix. The ultimate juice made from a mix of the best ingredients. I mean, it doesn't seem bad, but I already got the dartboard, and I already got one extra of those, so I don't need any of this. I think there might be people worth talking to, but I don't feel like it. Talk to ice cream. Wahoo! I kicked everyone's butts in sales. Oh, thank the dairy angels above. I beat everyone else's sales numbers this month. Thanks, everyone. I couldn't have pulled it off without you. Seems like she's gone crazy. Ah, how could I be so stupid? I accidentally slept through the opening sales for their newest show. I rushed out the second I woke up. but it sold out just one person before me. Wow, Portia, you stupid idiot. You just cost us our chance at seeing Lady Ilya perform. Tickets for Arc-en-Ciel are going to be hard to get. Even the B-section seats are really expensive now. I hate to say it, but I might have to give up on trying to catch a show this time around. I don't think a student like me will be able to afford any of these tickets. Hehe. Ooh, who's this guy? Now, who do we have here? You look like you could use a little fun, and I know just the place. Man, we've been seeing a record number of bigwigs coming here lately, all searching for some fine quality entertainment. I bet it's because the diet session's coming up. Ain't that just the best news? Weird. So I need to talk to Roberts. Is this Roberts? No. The Orbital Network is still an unknown, yet fascinating concept for Crossbell. Our manager hopes to prepare our hotel for the future by adopting this new technology while it's still in its infancy. My understanding is often like, if you adopt something too early, you'll then have to fully replace it. So there's a point where you want to adopt early, but not too early. I like that despite being busy, the hotel is completely empty. Hallways and rooms on the top floor are very large. Cleaning them is quite the task. Yeah, like every hotel room is completely empty. I mean, it is the middle of the day on a Sunday, but like... these are the people I need to talk to. This is the online reservation the manager implemented, right? I'm sure it's excellent, but I don't really understand the details. Oh, aren't you Tio's boss? What is someone from the Epstein Foundation doing here? I'm here to supervise the installation of the Orbital Network into the hotel. Any business or hotel may take part in testing out the Orbital Network. All they have to do is send in an application, so I guess if it's free, then they might as well. Makes sense to me. Is this Orbital Network stuff that easy to set up, though? Well, there are regular inspections regarding the intended usage and the type of industry. However, the IBC pays for all the equipment. I believe that is a quite good incentive for businesses to become a test environment. But anyway, they've graced me with the opportunity to run various tests that I otherwise wouldn't be able to do. Not many people can run the terminals competently. I've had a bit of trouble training them, haha. So let's go down the sketchy back alley. I don't think there's gonna be anything new in here. It's still this same lady. That man from Ravash came by for some drinks again yesterday. Something had him in a real foul mood. He was going off on some rant pretty much the entire time he was in here. I think he said something along the lines of, "Screw those police brats." Maybe he's having some kind of conflict with them. I hear that last month's incident put even Ravash into a panic. There were rumors that some of the higher-ups got an earful too. Though, it's not like it made much of a difference either way. Ravash's roots still spread all throughout the city. They're not going anywhere because of a mere incident like that. Nothing new? What even is that? I'm not looking at it because it's not necessary, but... I mean, reviving 50% of restore is not bad. And it will only get better as the game goes on. Because we're only at level 18 and we already have like over 1,000 HP on most people. I'm not talking to random folks like them, they're rude. I have to make a visit to the IBC this evening. I was able to purchase some delightful antiques for a bargain price. But now I have to actually transfer the Mira. What a pain. When the Orbital Network is finally up and running, I won't have to go to the bank every time I want to make a transaction. How does that work? Basically, people will be able to access their IBC accounts and make payments online via Orbital terminals. IBC is obviously like a bank, but it really sounds like, I guess, IBM. The virtualization and expanded accessibility of bank functions are the two greatest merits of the IBC's involvement in the Orbital Network project. That being said, I believe its full implementation is still a ways off from now. Sorry, Tio. That went straight over my head. Same here. I got lost real quick on that one. Well, I think I understood the gist of it. Sort of. I really want to get these chests. Oh, there must be one like straight up from here. They're gonna kick me out again. Oh, they're gonna react. Oh, wait a minute. I recognize that face. You guys are... Damn. Yeah, you're those... They're here again. Pretty safe to assume this building belongs to Mafia. It's the same thing again. That's there. Now I need to explore... Up district. So I should talk to Juice Girl. I figured I'd follow my mom's footsteps and try running my own business. Only problem is, I had to take out a hefty loan just to purchase this cart. That's why I need to work hard to boost my earnings however I can. Like by giving out free recipes. Who's this kid? I feel like we've seen this guy before. Tajik. We're about to start arranging a draft of the budget in a conference room at City Hall. Right now, we need to finalize a budget outline ahead of the Dive's budget session next month. The conference room is only meant for members of financial affairs, but of course, Diet members are already sticking their noses into our business. I mean, the fact they're doing the Diet session in the same approximate time frame as the festival in this type of story is kind of weird. Oh, it's you guys. Keep up the good work, everyone. How are things going for you lately, friends? I know you told me you've been having a hard time finding time to study, so... Oh, you mean the qualification exam. Or haha, you mean the qualification exam. I think I'm going to focus my everyday duties for the time being. That doesn't mean I've given up my dream of becoming a detective, though. Sounds like you got a lot on your plate. Don't overwork yourself, okay? Got it, buddy. You hang in there, too. Alright, Lloyd? Are you guys looking forward to Arc-en-Ciel's new show? I know I am. I managed to get my hands on some B-section seats, but I finally get to see them live. So now I need to talk to her to show Combat Notebook. It looks like you've been hard at work filling out your Combat Notebook. I'd like to record your information to our database. Mind if I see it for a minute? With pleasure. I'm missing a ton. Like, there's the panda that I didn't fight. I haven't seen a single shining palm. But it is what it is. Thank you very much. Here's your notebook back. And please, accept this as compensation for your hard work. Oh, I need to go equip that item on one of the two. New material. Good. Don't forget to stop by once you've collected more monster data, okay? Thanks. We will. Of course. We'll see to it that we visit. I just remembered that I need to equip probably her, because she's the one that I'm using it the most with. The Gladiator Headband is CP Recovery Rising. So I will be able to spam her Holy Bullet more. It's like it'll be faster to generate additional CP through attacking and stuff, so that I can use Holy Bullet more often. Listen to this, guys. First Division got their very own operations room yesterday. It's down in the basement. Whoa, really? Yeah, they have an incredible setup. Not to mention 3 different operators working down there. It kinda irks me, to be honest. I can't just let them show me up. Don't beat yourself up over it, Fran. As far as the CPD's concerned, this is the First Division's world, and we're just living in it. Oh, Ellie and Tio. Thank you for all your help earlier. I hope what we did was adequate. Reading over those old cases was a great learning experience. I'm glad it wasn't too boring then. We've been steadily building a database ever since we decided to install an orbital terminal at the station. Can I count on you two to help me again when the time comes? Yes, done. I'm just gonna make sure there's nobody else to talk to. Good. Ooh, can I enter random places? I don't like them. He's fine. Can I go up? Oh, we can't travel anywhere else. What's the point of this rope? Okay, then I'm gonna check in here. City Hall. We'll be celebrating Crossbow State's. Oh, it's just repeating the same thing every time. 70th birthday with a festival next month. The festival is being extended to 5 days to celebrate this momentous occasion. Please refer to our informational brochures for more detail. Like, 50% of the people I'm talking to bring that up. Sounds like they're already at each other's throats over next year's budget. Members of the media are dying to get the Diet's to go to the Diet's budget session Q&A. Usually, the big veteran politicians will take up all of that time for themselves and leave little to nothing for the younger ones. Probably check the library. Is a new book available to read? I might read it, probably won't. It's rare for you to show up here around this time, Lloyd. Are you off work today? Unfortunately not. We've been working since this morning, haven't had a day off in a while. It took me quite some time to fully understand what the extent of our workload would be. Haha, that so? I suppose the life of a police officer is not an easy one. Working at the library is one of the easier government jobs. You get an appropriate amount of time off work. I mean, these police officers have no time off. I bet you didn't know this, but this very library has quite the history itself. The original traders of Crossbow used to store their ledgers inside of this building. That's why you're able to find books dating back 300 years here. I dare say this place is an absolute gold mine for a historian like me. I'm looking for the Wolf book. Perfect, because this one apparently has another part, and I already read the first part a while ago, so I'm going to read this. Mark and the Witch of the Deep Forest by Sean Arnhem. Part 2. The girl, Anna, guided an exhausted Mark to the house where she lived. It was along a path he had followed many times while he was lost. He could not help but wonder why he hadn't been able to find the now obvious building. It's usually hidden with magic, Anna answered Mark's question matter-of-factly before serving him some nice hot soup. Mark barely heard her, however, as he restlessly looked around. A crystal ball sitting on a desk showed an image of Mark's village. The shelves were lined with books written in a language he'd never seen before. A strange liquid bubbled in a cauldron. It was all exactly as Mark's father had described in his stories. Hey, Anna, do you know my father? The witch girl nodded in response. 10 years ago, your father saved me from a monster attack. I treated him to soup as thanks, and he started going on and on about his son who'd just been born. You. Mark felt it was odd that this young girl was even around 10 years ago. He quickly concluded that perhaps witches simply didn't age. Thinking she might understand, since it seemed she knew his story, Mark asked, to prove that his father was not a liar, if she could come with him to the village and stand before Ron. Anna shook her head and said, I have been feared and shunned for a long time. No, I do not want to be seen by people. Hearing her distant, lonely voice, Mark understood a little better why she lived alone. Mark decided to give up on his idea of bringing her to the village, to Anna's surprise. She had expected he would be more persistent. I won't be able to show Ron he's wrong, but at least I can see myself that my father's story was true. As Mark said this, a huge grin spread across his face. It was clear to Anna that he was beside himself with happiness at being able to confirm his father's story with his own eyes. Seeing this, she couldn't help but smile herself. Anna gave Mark the directions to return to his village, and he promised to visit again. He started on his way, unintentionally skipping in excitement. When he arrived back at the village, he noticed that many townsfolk were walking about, even though it was still late at night. Mark went pale when he realized they were looking for him. Afraid of being found, he hid in the overgrown grass. Hey, did you find anything? One man shouted. No, not over here, another responded. Mark continued to deliberate over how he would apologize for warning the villagers when he overheard, Where have Mark and Ron gone? Ron? Mark didn't expect to hear another name, and without thinking, revealed himself. The villagers were startled, then relieved. They scolded him for having gone missing. Once they learned Mark had definitely returned home, their worried expressions returned. What in the world happened? Mark asked. The adults exchanged glances and answered, It seemed Ron had also entered the forest alone. The director comes to work outside our hours of operation to organize the books and update our catalog. Not only does it serve his bibliophilic desires, but most importantly, it improves the quality of service for our patrons. I know library director doesn't sound like a flashy title, but he's one of the finest men I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Let's just check if there's any other people. Oh, kids. And then, the voice of the goddess called out to her. The path has opened for you, little one. It's time for you to return to your friends. Hearing that, the fox began to run as hard as she could. Oh, I'm so excited. Mom's gonna read me a book. I can't wait. I'm not gonna read books because I don't feel like it. That's that. I've explored here. I have Harbor District. I might check in at IBC, East Street, downtown. I guess I'll go here first. Grace has been busy as heck running around collecting information lately. I've hardly seen her in the office ever since she got back from her business trip. I really hope she's not trying to dig up dirt on another celebrity. Oh, the SSS is here again. What's up, everyone? Hey, you know that article about the wolf attacks in the latest issue? I wrote that one. And this is the first time I've had my article selected as a front page story. I'm on top of the world. I still haven't gotten over it yet. I'm just going to do a quick scan of what the article has. I'm not going to read it, I'm just going to scan it to get a basic idea. Do anniversary, city prep, Afghan, great results from our new star bracers, aftermath. You know, the attacks are human initiated, I'm happy things are back to normal and I can return to work. The city received criticism for how long it took to act and a lack of transparency on where the funds were coming from. What was reacting to affected peoples? 2 suspects were released on bail early yesterday morning. I mean, technically, if they were just released on bail, that's not letting them off, because bail is like they're leaving until it's in a position to continue the trial. Like they're gonna have to go to trial later, so I don't think that's quite the right term, but... Oh, my SSSTs, I hate it. Oh, my SSST besties are here. It feels like it's been forever since we last met. The news from the last month's incidents with those monsters left me speechless. Don't you worry, my friends. I know you've been busting your humps. It's nice to see you again, Grace. Now that you mention it, someone else wrote that article, huh? Yes. Yep. Unfortunately, I was away from Crossbow at the time, covering a different story that needed that special Grace pizzazz. I'm really sad I missed out on the chance to write about you guys again, though. You're my favorite subjects for sure. I think that may have been better for us in the end. Yeah, getting dunked on all the time by your articles can really wear a guy down, you know? Why can't you guys feel the boundless love I have for you? I'm like a mama bird watching her chicks grow up. Hehe. Surely it's fate that we'd meet here. How about you give me the inside scoop on your latest investigation? It seems Grace is in the middle of her break. Anyway, everyone, we should really excuse ourselves. We wouldn't want to disturb her. Good luck with your work, which we will not interrupt or be anywhere in the vicinity of. No, what? You're leaving me already? Oh, come on. You don't have to be so cold. This nerd. I decided to entrust Rains with local news photography, and he might be a rookie, but man, this guy sure knows how to deliver. His photos in particular are top notch. Heh, a bit more mentoring, and he's sure to become a great reporter. That does actually all show in the log, that's pretty cool. Doom doo. This is Harbor District. That's the only one I have to talk to, apparently, or the only one with an event. I'll check in here in case there's anything. Mr. Kwa is one extremely busy man, as you expect from the CEO. He usually out conducting business in other countries, so he's not around often. When he does come in, you'd better believe I give him the warmest welcome I can. Realistic, totally. Let's do some exchanging. Let's exchange. I meant two. Let's do 226. 29. Uh, 26. 2. 13. and 3. Good numbers. Good numbers. Kind of hate this one and this one, but I don't want to exchange that much more. Crossbow safety rating has plummeted over the last couple of weeks. We've got to stay on our best guard, or things could easily turn ugly. Hey there, welcome to the IBC's main reception desk. Why is the main reception desk on the side? Maybe it's all one desk, is what they're treating it. Would you like to open an account, or perhaps make a transaction? We also offer introductions to investments, loans, and assets. We can even teach you a thing or two about managing real estate. Go ahead and use any of our services. Wow, it really feels like you can do just about anything at the IBC, if it's money related. You technically can, as long as it's mirror related. Got 'em. Their service is covered just about anything you could ever want. I don't want to talk with her, I don't want to talk with the guard, this guy's a weirdo. Peace. Maybe it's worth going upstairs, but... Can I enter here yet? Obviously not. Oh, I could just knock. Ooh, I can go fishing there, actually. Those whelps from the Fisherman's Guild tried to get me to join their little entourage. It'll be a cold day in Gehenna before I lump myself in with any kind of group. Especially when it spouts nonsense like, the first rule of fishing is to have fun. What a fun character. I like him. He's a fun character. He'd be probably insufferable, but... How much do I have that I can fish with? I will use 1 earthworm and a few dumplings if they actually catch anything. Because they need to get, I think, 1 or 2 more fish to rank up. 1 or 2 more different fish that I haven't caught yet to rank up. I think I've already gotten that, but maybe not. The dumplings have a very low hit rate. Let's hope this one gets something. Hey, that's good. But it's the same thing. Need to catch... I think I'm at 6 different types of fish by now. But I'm only gonna try and catch 1 more after this. Okay, if it's an Armorican carp again, I'm done. Oh my goodness, I guess there's only Armorican carp here. Actually, can I check fishing? Yes, I only have 5, though I think the chance that I might have caught in a 6th, but 5 seems about right. Okay, so I'm done with this zone. I need to go down to East Street and check in on people here. Who are they? Rubina took a huge... Looks like a huge weight's been taken off her shoulders. That would be the person... Yes, her... brother? Now that Azzy started working, she said that things might finally be a little easier for us. My brother, Azel, recently joined a gang of delinquents. Last I heard, he started a part-time job in the downtown district, too. I tried to get him to quit, but he promised me that he'd do honest work and return home sometime soon. So it sounds like he's just helping out at a bar one of his gang buddies owns. He did promise he'd take responsibility and pay me back for all his hospital bills, so I suppose I'll wait and see how things go for now. Oh, it's her. I received a nice letter from my sweet little Noelle, over from Tangram Gate the other day. She was a little rambly in her letter, but I got the impression at least that she's doing well. That girl never remembers to send us any letters, so Fran and I are always worried about her. Look at the little bear. That bear is terrifying. That face looks like it was like a picture from a panda that was placed on that texture, and it does not work. Oh, it's these folks. Oh, it's you guys. Hey, yeah, everyone. Good to see you again. Good to see you too. Oh, wait a second. Are you two living here? We sure are. We'll be hunkering down here while we're in Crossbell. We're not usually around during the day, but you're still welcome to come around whenever you feel like it. Deal? Sounds good. I'm a little curious as to what kind of relationship the two of them are engaged in. They have the same last name, but they sure as hell don't look like a pair of siblings to me. Oh snap, are they married? Yo, Lady Killer. Give it to me straight. What kind of relationship do you and Estella got going anyway? Well, it's a bit of a long story. I was actually adopted into her family when I was 11. And, after we both became bracers, we sort of started dating. Damn, they really are a thing. Case solved. So they grew up together, and now they're a couple. I suppose that explains how they're always so in sync. I'd like to take some time off to go visit my family back home in Erbonia. However, I work for a brokerage firm, so I don't have much time for vacations. It's kind of fun that Crossbell's very clearly, like, aggressively capitalistic. My brother bought me some tasty looking candy. Munch munch. That's so tasty. Man, Mei-Ling is a little too spoiled. She starts Sunday school next year. I need to make sure to straighten her out, or she's gonna have trouble down the line. Like, come on, don't buy her candy if she's spoiled. I don't know if any of these folks are actually worth talking to. I don't think they are. They might have like little comments, but I'm not really that curious. Sound like another truck, got in an accident near Calvard. I haven't been keeping up with all that stuff, but apparently the Calvardian army is going to get involved. Oh, I just noticed that I missed an ingredient from the library. Or a recipe from the library. Because for some reason there's a recipe for egg pudding in the library. Where is it? Small bookshelf, first floor. I assume it's not this one? Yeah, because I already saw that. Small bookshelf. This one? No. No. This one? No. Lip Smacking Quarterly is on the shelf. Dessert Special Edition. Typically, we put out our publication in limited print runs quarterly. However, thanks to all of our subscribers over the years, we have reached our 10th anniversary. As such, this celebratory special edition you hold in your hands covers a simple, yet special, dessert. We present to you this homemade egg pudding recipe, a dish people of all ages can enjoy. Please enjoy making it with your family. The recipe follows on the next page. I'm not gonna read that. Learn the recipe for homemade egg pudding. So I have both. I have all the missable stuff, and I can continue interacting with the people. Let's just do this. East Street. So Racer Guild. Apparently Arios is worth talking to. You're here again. I can hardly believe it's been a whole month since we last saw each other. It looks like your group has found its footing. Thanks Arios. It's good to see you again. I don't think we're sizing up at all to the great Divine Blade of Wind, though, that's for sure. There's no need to compare our accomplishments. Simply continue onward along the path you've chosen. Take a hard look at Crossbell's current state. Learn all you can of the city and its struggles. Then, when the time comes, you'll be able to make a difference. If you say so, sir. Come on. It seems you're in the middle of work. For now, you should focus on that. Look forward to seeing all of you grow. Show me what impressive things the SSS can accomplish. Unless it's impress him, I can't. I kind of wish there was a comment about his daughter, but maybe that would be unreasonable because it would be sort of rudely barging in on her, like, hospital room, and it might get the doctor friend in trouble if it was reality. East Street, I've talked to everybody. Admin, done. Central, West, East, admin. Harbor. Entertainment. So I've already checked the back alley. Oh, apparently I need to go back to Imelda because there's something about a shelf with dolls. exquisite dolls are lined up, side by side. Wow, these dolls are so incredibly detailed. Could they be from that doll studio that's right off the mountain path? No, I don't think those are Rosenberg dolls. Those are truly one-of-a-kind masterpieces, nicer than even these. Nicer than these? Damn. Oh wow. Something tells me there's a few too many zeros in there, but maybe it's just my imagination. You wouldn't happen to own one, would you? Ah, no, not me, but someone I know. She's shown me a couple of hers before. Is that so? I would like to see one someday. I hear Rosenberg dolls are indescribable. Okay, so that was nothing, but it was a scene. I need to go to the Crossbell Cathedral. I have no idea where that is. It was off of a path, right? Like, I don't think... yeah, it wasn't this. New City Hall. The Crossbell Cathedral was on the road to St. Ursula, maybe? It might be that? No, it was on the road to Mainz? No, it was definitely not. It was one of these paths that was traveled down before. There was the Crossbell Cathedral. It was very... yes, it was right here actually, I think. Going out north. Yes, so that's where it was. If I go to residential, not there. Residential. And then out this way. And then I take my first right turn. Check any bus stop sign to board an orbital bus. This allows you to quickly reach your destination and travel across Crossbell State. I wonder if I can use this one to go anywhere. Bus stop, Doll Studio, Mainz Mining Village. Yep. It is actually direction based. Crossbell Cathedral. Ooh, that's a new song. Sunday school is currently in session in the cathedral's classroom. Currently, it falls on my shoulders to keep anyone suspicious from interfering. But you're with the police, correct? Please feel free to enter in that case. Okay, so there's not much to explore. Parsonage. For those in need of prayer, Eidos welcomes you with open arms. But we can't enter it. Ooh, they don't welcome us with open arms. I'm gonna assume that's... ooh. Good music. I consider myself a capable cook, so I make lunch for all the kids during their Sunday school lessons. I feel like I've been getting more picky eaters these days, but that's where I can really show my mettle as a chef. I'll subtly mix in their least favorite foods with their favorites. That way, their taste buds will slowly get used to them. And when I finally reveal what they stuffed it themselves with, oh, the look on their faces. It's really something to behold. What is this place? You know, the anniversary festival's coming up next month. Time really does fly by. Or maybe it just feels that way because I spent all my time in a secluded place like this. Ah. Cemetery. There's gonna be Guy's grave, I think. A skirmish between Erbonia and Calvar 30 years ago robbed me of my husband. We used to fight day in and day out, but it really was quite lonesome to be left behind like this. Just make sure none of these can be interacted with. Oh, sweet lambs, born beneath the bell, may you sleep peacefully here, forevermore. Let the golden light shining betwixt the pure clouds lead thy souls above to the great blue sky, that they may return once more to the goddess's loving embrace. Haha, there's never a dull moment with all these kids running around. Honestly, kids used to bug me to no end. But ever since my all prayers paid off and my business began to really boom, I feel like I've become more open-hearted. Ever since all my prayers paid off, I assume? The mayor of Crossbell City also stops by the cathedral to pray on a regular basis. It seems he prays for the peace and safety of fellow Crossbones whenever his schedule allows him. Teaching Sunday school is one of the practices that was founded by the Septian Church for the purpose of educating our youth. Sister Marble is carrying out the practice of teaching Sunday school to this day. You like an archbishop? Yep. Though only a few words here and there, I have heard people speak of the SSS's efforts. Pay no mind to those who ridicule you as mere bracer copycats, for the goddess of the sky shall always look down fondly on those who act for the sake of righteousness and justice. I mean, I think that this story, I can't remember if the church is iffy, but like, the fact that the church in this story explicitly has like an assassination squad is pretty neat, and they don't hide it from the player. The two gangs operating out of the downtown district are the Saber Vipers and Testaments, right? Those Testament hooligans in particular look like they belong to some religious cult. It's a truly regrettable thing. I hope they are one day able to realize the error of their ways. But yeah, like the fact they have a whole military type stuff is pretty silly. Long ago, the Great Collapse shook the world to its core, irrefutably changing it. It is what caused the destruction of the continent we live on, Zemuria. It also annihilated the highly advanced ancient Zemurian civilization along with it. Looks like they're in the middle of a Sunday school lesson right now. This really brings me back. I think I see some familiar faces in the class too. Speaking of which, is that teacher who I think it is? It couldn't possibly. Can I talk to these kids? Sleepy. You gotta stay awake, Ken. We're gonna get in trouble if you go to sleep now. But it's so boring. If you fall asleep in class, I'm gonna tell Big Sis. Haha, these two are pretty cute. Must be twins. Actually, they remind me of someone. I can't connect to who has, like, it's definitely not the Seeker family. Eek! Hey, don't peek at my notes. Funny kid. And this is her? My dad loves to talk about old stuff like the ancient Zemurian civilization. Wait, where are Ryu and Henri? I wonder if they're playing hooky today. They better not have forgotten. I even told them that we had Sunday school today. Momo. The Great Collapse. I didn't know everything could just disappear like that. If you think about it, that's really scary. I mean, yes, it is actually terrifying. I don't know, man. I feel like with modern technology, even stopping a terrible disaster like the Great Collapse would be a piece of cake. Oof. Hey, Hamel. Hamel and Tamel. What a name for twins. Were you able to follow what Sister Marable just said? Were you even listening? It wasn't even that hard. Oh, really? Just show me your notes when you get home later. Howdy. It's rude to interrupt the lesson, but... Oh, who might you be? Sorry for barging in like this, ma'am. But man, seeing this classroom again really brings back memories. Wait a second. I swear I've seen this sister somewhere before. Hold on. Are you by any chance... Lloyd? Lloyd Bannings? You know me? Friend of yours? Wait, Sister Marble? You've been told her name multiple times already. It's wonderful to see you again, Lloyd. And the young lady next to you must be Ellie, right? Look at you two, all grown up now. I knew I recognized you. It really has been a while, Sister Marble. Huh? You know her too, Ellie. I do. Sister Marble was my teacher when I attended Sunday school. I believe I recall that you and Ellie are this close in age, but... How could you two have taken classes from the same sister, but never met each other before starting at the SSS? Well, Crossbow City is so large. Each district has its own Sunday school class on different days of the week. These two were in different classes, you see. Makes sense to me. It's sort of strange if you think about it. We could have been childhood friends, Lloyd. Haha, you're right. We just barely missed each other, it seems. So, Sister Marble, how did you manage to recognize us after all these years? Hee, what kind of question is that? I have yet to forget a single student who's ever been in any of my classes. Besides, the two of you in particular stood out from the rest. How so? Well, let's see here. Poor Lloyd was spoiled beyond belief and always clung to Cecil. And it was surprising how much little Ellie knew about topics related to the birds and the bees. Come again? Sister Marble? Aha, I really do appreciate this highly educational history lesson, teacher. You got any other interesting chapters in these kiddos' lives we should know about? Oh, I know. Plenty. Let's see. Come on, give us a break. Seriously, no more. Hehe, oh, I'm just teasing. What a shame. Anyway, I'm so happy to see both of you again. Please, drop by whenever you want. I can brew some tea, and we can reminisce. You can count on it. So that's done here. Goodbye. I will never see you again. You're no one. So, I need to go to St. Ursula to talk to people. And there's a new area that goes into a tunnel with different enemies and loot. I think it was here. Continue into the tunnel and take the west branching path to a new area. Do they mean up here? We never gave back the key, did we? I don't know if this is where I'm supposed to check. The guide is not very clear. I don't want to fight these slugs. West branching path. Oops. Hey, perfect. Fresh milk. Ew. Gross, yet again. Like, milk that is presumably being carried around by slugs. This doesn't look at all... I have no idea. Mentioning maybe it's the other, maybe it's not. Take the bus from the north exit to the intersection. Did I just not, oh, maybe I didn't interact with the thing, so I didn't unlock the intersection? So I just didn't have the opportunity to fast travel to it? I also need to consider upgrading my weapons. Using U material. Like, I'm assuming it's not that. That's not going to be open. I need to go down this way. I don't want to run into any combat. You know what? Let's just use the minimap and follow that to avoid enemies. So through the tunnel. Don't get attacked. Don't get attacked. Oh, here. The area that I turned off and decided to... And they wouldn't let me explore. So this is where I can explore now. That makes sense. I totally forgot about it. Ooh, freaky. Are these the abyss worms? Yes. I think these are earthquake AoE guys. They're weak to water. And they have a lot of HP. This will not go well. Unless I get some good debuffs. Ooh, not quite big enough AoE. Area... Oh, I actually need to use this anyway. Hollow sphere on... her. So she's now stealth, and that will finish that quest. think I want to attack this one because I think the paralysis is the biggest status effect to prevent me from taking damage. Let's just Ice Sledge. Earth Shaker for 531. Huge hit. Can I use this? Perfect. Restore everyone else's CP a bit. Icicle Edge. Damn, 281. Yeah, he doesn't do anything on his turn since he has what I have interpreted as paralysis. Let's just attack. Yeah, I will attack. How much will I get from this? I'm at 113. I got 15 from that attack. That is great CP regen because it means that I will be able to maintain like a permanent, like, as long as I attack occasionally, I will have very high uptime on the Holy Bullet heal / CP gen. Okay, will I kill him in time? Probably not is what it looks like. It will be close, but it won't be enough. Good experience, they both leveled up. Wild Swan. I mean, that's every swan. Swans are aggressive. Okay, I should probably heal him. I've already used it, so I can actually re-equip Orbments, but I'm gonna not bother. Oh, it's these guys that we fought a special fight against. Like, we already fought Fall Eagles, but it was 2 in a special combat. Whereas now, they're back again as... You know what? Ooh, there's an Impede, which is good. So I'm gonna do this, and then Randy, in the hopes that it will save me some time. Yeah, that's probably good enough. Let's Axle Break. Can I hit them all? No, I can hit 2. Okay. She doesn't do a lot of damage. I could Holy Bullet again, but I would rather try and take out these enemies. He's more likely to actually do anything because he's not paralyzed. At 460 damage, that's huge. And this is a lot of experience. Like, these guys give a ton. Okay, so I want to go down and then up. Though given the list here only having 2 accessible chests, it looks like there's probably a block off somewhere before I can get to the end there, so I'll go up first. Cooling Spray. Run. They're annoying enough to fight in an ambush. I don't want to give them a fair fight. Ah, just one guy. Stun. He's gonna do a lot of damage if I don't get a stun here. I should have probably kept Lloyd there. Like, there's so much experience from these guys. Oops, don't aggro. Also, I'm gonna... Turn around, good. Do I have... Yes, only one. Good. I think as long as only one, it won't be too bad. And then I'll use Lloyd's just for safety and speed, because that's a lot of damage. And then she will Holy Bullet, get everyone. And he's dead. I definitely think I need new weapons. Boom, level up. Ooh, bad Sepith game. Yep, there's where it's gonna cut me off, so I won't be able to get to the end anyway. He's gonna turn in a weird way. Yep. Nope, I don't understand these guys. I'm not. But the experience is so good. And apparently, these guys have a chance of spawning palms with them. Which, considering I haven't seen a single palm yet, is... I want to, you know, spot one. It's inefficient Sepith to not attack on this turn, but I'd rather have CC regen to get everyone back up. He's not gonna die. He's poisoned at least. He's gonna do a bunch of damage here. That's a lot of damage. I don't think even with the critical she kills. Let's triple burst. Oh, he was stunned. I actually probably should have not been that focused on killing him. And this is done here, and I can go back and explore the down path. And after I explore this path... Okay, come on, turn in a good way. Turn in a good way, good. Ooh, palm. Perfect. Did it kill it? No. You know what, let's just use the S-Craft. Because I want to kill the palm. I don't think palms are super high value. But I am pretty sure they're worth killing and they can run away. Okay. Decent experience, good Sepith, U material, and Earthworm. But there's 2 chests that I can get here. These guys are annoying. Who do I want to target first? Let's target this guy. And by doing that, I put him outside of range for Holy Bullet as a group, but she doesn't need it, so I can split it like this just fine. That's not the one. I wanted Ariel. Decent, not great. Attack. Paralyze means I can ignore him now for a few turns because he won't be a threat. And now I just need to kill the Fall Eagle because he is actually potentially a threat, and I deal no damage to him. Oh, and he's gonna blind my people too. Let's move so I can keep them all grouped. For easier healing. It's wasteful. I would rather just do this a little faster. She does no damage with that. You know what? I never use her craft art. Her S-Craft. How does that... Oh, that's annoying. Actually, what is Summon Zeit? Sure, let's see what happens here. Let's try it out. Woo, and he comes in. And he is on the next turn. He starts at the back. He howls. He defense downs and AT delays them. That's very strong. Even if all he did was debuff them with defense and delay their turns, that would be really good. to attack this guy too. I can't remember. He's about to be unparalyzed shortly. I need to focus him a little bit more than the Fall Eagle. Holy Bullet, get everyone full health and regenerating CP. Okay, so Zeit is just a single, that's all he does. There's no more that he does. Yeah, okay. It's like he does a support turn, but all he does is one action. So it's really just a fancy art or any other craft. It's no different than any other craft. Gotta make sure to kill those because they seem to do the most damage. This guy is actually threatening with how he can blind you. I don't know what they're weak to. You know, let's just keep going. Good. That's done. Opened. Obtained bulletproof jacket. Help! I'm careening off a cliff. I think my S brakes were cut. Bulletproof jacket is just better than the fiber coat. Defense ADF. In exchange, speed. That's way more defense. We got so much more defense. I'll give him the bulletproof jacket and I'll give him the fiber coat because I'd rather have Randy be a little faster, but since he's being kept as a defense, then I'd hope that Phantom Thief B would be the one to loot me. I guess I'm not beautiful enough, whimper. So now I'm done exploring here, and I guess the fastest way to get back will be going back up to Main's Mine, or supposedly it's pronounced Mine's Mine. Well, it might not be pronounced Mine's Mine, but that one chest suggested that maybe that is the pronunciation. And so, I hate to believe that it's Mine's Mine, and I'm not going to pronounce it that way, but... Oh, shoot, I messed up. Ah, yes. Just about the only person on the team. She has like 10% of aid, and she didn't get hit. There, done. This is the issue with the high speed mode. I always just run into enemies when trying to just run past them quickly. But now I can go back to Crossbow City North exit. Go back to the bus stand, take the bus back to Crossbell. I can finish the Enigma combat test because I used that one art. Hey there, Lloyd. So how did your Enigma do during those combat tests? Worked like a charm, Wendy. They're definitely a huge asset in battles. Hollow Sphere, was it? It was just as you said. The enemies did not seem to notice us at all. Seems like that art was making full use of the mirage element. Given how much we rely on these enigmas, I bet beefing up our arsenal of arts like this will pay off in the long run. Agreed. On top of that, the enigma's communication function is quite handy. Not to mention, synthesizing quartz and unlocking slots is no different than past orbit models, so that's convenient too. Ah, okay, I see. Yep, that should be enough for my report. Lloyd, everyone, I really appreciate all your help. Now, what do I give to thank you? Oh, this will do. Please accept this. Libra gem. Oh, what's this? Apparently, this is an ancient quartz excavated out of some giant ruins from the Middle Ages. I found this baby while fishing around in the previous workshop's warehouse. Ancient quartz. We can use stuff like that? Theoretically speaking, it would not be too strange if they operate in the enigmas. After all, orbments were originally created through the analysis and modification of ancient crystalline circuits. Some reports claim these quartz were being used well before the Great Collapse. Oh yeah, I heard those rumors too. It'd be pretty amazing if they turned out to be true, huh? Well, I can't give you a 100% guarantee it'll work, but I'm getting an orbital reaction from it at the very least. I've already tinkered around with it a little, so I'm pretty sure it'll be compatible with your enigmas. Aha, sounds like it sounds like this is really important to you. Thanks, Wendy. We'll use it well. Appreciate it. Wendy, if you have any other requests, don't hesitate to contact the SSS. You betcha. I'll be looking forward to next time. That quest is done. I'm still gonna need to head out to Tangram Gate, but I'm gonna get my orbment sorted. So this new one, I'm taking that off. I'm taking that off. Taking that off. I'm taking that off for now. So. Libra Gem requires 2, absorbs 1% of magical damage dealt as EP. I mean, that's probably worthwhile. What limits... Oh, because that specific slot is limited to water. I'm not paying attention. Shoot, she's the only one that would really make use of that. I don't think I can open up another slot, because I already used it all, right? Yeah, I need another 20 fire, and I'd be able to. I could go grind to get that, but for now I'll just equip what I have. Not arts, quartz. So, HP, mute. I guess I might put EP, mind, and I could put detection, but I'll leave that for now until other people are sorted. He has space, so EP cut is probably his. She has nothing here, but she works best with wind. So I'm gonna give her the wind ones. And hit. So yeah, I can give her detection. And everyone is fully quartzed out. Good. What arts do they have? He's still kind of bad, but I'm not using him for arts anyway. She still has, ooh, increased movement AoE. Not great, but not terrible, I think. And an AoE cure ailments has potential use. She has the circular wind attack, which is fine. She has revive, big heal to one person, and cures burn. All of them cure burn. She has mute, crest, chrono down, ice hammer, galleon tower. That seems good. 95 EP though. That is expensive. Anyway, that's that. So, things that I need to check. I don't think I've missed anything. It is now time to head out to the east to get to Tangram Gate. Before I do that, I'm going to very briefly step in here and make sure all these are full. And then out to Tangram Gate. Which Tangram Gate is out this way, right? Yeah. Is Tangram Gate where I need to be? Chapter 2. Enigma combat test is done. Bale's Tangram Gate out east, and West Crossbell Highway monster extermination. Old Road property monster. That's going towards Armorica, which would be out east as well. Let's talk to these folks. They're friendly. Now that the anniversary festival is almost here, the streets are buzzing with excitement. Old stores started making preparations for the festival. Every store. We're all looking forward to seeing what sort of things they come up with. My heart's almost jumping in anticipation. Pretty old. If your heart starts jumping, you might have, heart problems. Go to the fork. So yes. Looking at broader stuff. So it seems like I should do the Tangram Gate side first. And like previous games, it's a case of you end up fighting the people there and you want to win both fights, because if you lose you get less DP, and losing out on DP is not ideal. So I don't know how strict this game is. Like some of them you have like 1 or 2, like I guess it was bracer points in the previous games. Like you have a tiny bit of leeway for missing stuff, but I don't know if this is one where you have any leeway at all. Whereas, like I'm hoping there's leeway, but you can't bet on there being leeway. I could search to see if there's how much leeway there is, but that would be kind of less interesting than just making sure that I get all the DP possible. And since I'm not running on Nightmare, the combat's not going to be impossible. But again, I need to check about upgrading gear before I do that fight. So this is inefficient, it's a waste of time. I just traveled here and I'm traveling back right away. But I'm going back to Crossbow City. I wish this would go faster. I wanted to travel to the downtown district. I actually didn't check out anything in the downtown district earlier. I totally forgot about them. It doesn't look like there's any optional events down here, so I'm not going to worry too much. But I'm here to check on this area. I can get this, but I don't have Elefure, Rusty Nail, Sprekcore, or Riot Buster. So this costs 3, 3, 3, so I could get 3 of these upgraded. Is it worth it? I don't know. Okay, people who I care about their attacks the most are these 2. And then who else? I guess if I want to use more arts with her. But anyway, Riot Buster, Elefure, Rusty Nail, Sprekcore. I'll buy all those, and then I'll decide when I'm back. I could probably go find a place to grind for more U material, but I can't imagine it mattering that much. I'm not equipping those because this might be the incorrect choice. This might be a waste of time to upgrade weapons like this, but let's use what exists. Like Mira can to an extent be grinded for, so it won't ruin me if I do this. And U material drops from common-ish enemies. Well, enemies that respawn. Artisan. Now, who do I want to give this to? Like, she's gonna use arts, but she's also just spamming crafts. Which is worth more? Let's compare Sprekcore to Rusty Nail. So, Sprekcore is 35 range, whatever. Rusty Nail's 44. Accuracy 4. Accuracy 5, range 4. range 2. This becomes same range 2, but it gains 10 accuracy, 10 strength. This gains like 16 strength, 5 accuracy, or 0 accuracy, I can't remember, and poison. Do I need poison? Not really. Is she using arts? No, she only uses arts. I think it's probably better to... Oh, this is AoE. Ooh. Yeah, let's go with... Let's go with the gun, sure. He's going with Black Tiger. He's going from 118 to 159. She's going from 97 to 133. And she's going up from 50 to 65. Still a good upgrade. And I don't think there's armor upgrades anywhere. So back to the east. That's exactly the opposite of east. And it might have been a waste of time, but oh well. If it is, too bad. Back to 1. So, oh wait, no, don't run all the way there. I can fast travel. To the bus stop. So now, every fight should be a reasonable amount easier. Ooh, this is a frog. Look at that damage. So much better. Ooh, actually one-shotting everything? Nice. Absolutely garbage experience because I went to the other area first, so the experience here is already like, under-leveled. I'm already over-leveled for this area. Randy's gonna hit for like 500. Oh, 441. Pretty good. Actual damage. Wonderful. Dog. So there's two. There's a hidden enemy. Well, hidden enemy is a rare spawn enemy. And there is a dangerous monster chest that I'm gonna have to flee from. Which really, what it means for me is I'm gonna have to save before I enter any monster chests because one of them's level 30. Which is only 10 levels over, but the way the level scaling seems to work is that's basically unbeatable. How much did she hit for? She's a little behind. That's not the end of the world. Ah, Tangram Gate. I hate those guys, I'm not even gonna bother. Normal chest. EP charge. Sorry, no returns, exchanges, or chest credit. Okay, they just have like extremely good hearing, I guess. Oh, whatever, they're weak enough that I feel like it's fine to just sort of go for it. They're probably gonna hit hard though, because I haven't actually upgraded my armor. Ooh, murder. The speed down's pretty bad. Poison. Sticky stink. The next combat I need to remember to start with the heal craft, Heaven's Eye. Heaven saw that, you know. Heaven's Eye is a combo of info and Eagle Eye, right? Eagle Eye and information. Who has information? He has information. Do I have anything better I could equip him with? Not really. I mean, I might as well equip... Ooh. So information is 3 Mirage. This has 2 Fire, 3 Mirage, 1 those. That's actually better. Wait, no. Space. 2 Fire, 3 Space, 1 Mirage. So I probably should try to get... Like, I'd swap this for Heaven's Eye. Oh, I might also just swap this for Heaven's Eye. Let's do that. What is Lloyd at? He's at 20% evasion because of the evade gives 10 and his something else gives 10. I don't want to bother. If I can't sneak attack him, I don't want to bother with those guys. Frog. One shot. Ah, whatever. I'm not really worried about these guys. I meant to heal. I messed up. Why would she go to the left instead of the right? If she'd gone on the right, it would have been better. For me. Countered. Come on, get countered. Oh, game. They got 2 turns that quickly. He got countered twice. Rough. I really hope she gets a better, like, larger AoE, CP, restore, and heal. Because those are very abusable. For just keeping everyone healthy. Wait a second, you're not a Adel? 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 I don't know who that is. Where am I? That's definitely a reference that I'm just forgetting, but... Frog. I mean, the frog was asking for being attacked just by existing. This might bump them out of AoE. They might not be in the Team Rush AoE. It'll be close. They're fine. Ooh, I have over 150 Fire Sepith, which means that I can get a slot upgrade for TO. I'm not going to bother fighting every single enemy, it's a waste of time. I'll only fight ones that are on the path. Got him. I need to move along a little faster than this. Okay. I'm assuming this monster chest is the one that isn't level 30. Because on the list I have in front of me, the order of them has the one that I can actually fight first. And like, this is earlier in the route, so I assume this is the one that's safe. Good. Monster appeared. You know what, let's just be lazy. Let's just do this. Yeah, that's the best way to hit 3 of them. And let's be even lazier. And just blast them like that. I can regen CP as I battle random stuff along the route. Though, actually, I will want to charge those up before I get to the gate. Yeah, well, my cousin's Erebonian, and he doesn't even get a message. And he didn't even get a message. Got a bunch of Sepith, good. My buddy's from Liberal, and he got his message written by the original crew of chest riders. Oh, does that thing that the, like, cold steel arc chests don't have messages in them? What a shame. I don't want to stall too much. I'm willing to stall here, or if I... None of these delay enough, so let's just stall. So that I can get Holy Bullet to get more CP regen. And then I can still kill him here, I think. So, oh, that's the gate? Yes, and this is not the, this is definitely the chest that I'm not going to bother with, because I can probably see it later. So she's going to Holy Bullet, because I want everyone to have access to their special attack before I get to Tangram Gate. So I'm not going to commit too hard, I'm not going to run all the way back to refresh all these enemies. I should actually just run into it without the critical, so that I don't kill them too quick. This is going to be inefficient, but I'm actually just going to move all of them closer for now, instead of moving up. Because if I move up, it'll be harder to properly hit them all with Holy Bullet, except now it's going to be just as annoying. I'm going to not bother, but I want to still, you know, fight them. I mean, I really just need to focus on hitting blue hair, red hair, silver hair. As long as I can get those three, that's all that matters. Tio, Randy, and Ellie. Ooh, critical. Big damage, only 238. There must be like a whoever's furthest is who they select. For like Earthshaker attacks. Ooh, another ally, that's good. Extra CP gen. And healing. Let's hit this guy. This guy. Technically, if I'm on after CP gen, it would have actually been better to kill the left one, maybe, instead of evenly facing damage. Okay. 2 of them are full. He's at 168, which is solid. Okay, if I use one more boost, it would be enough. It's probably fine to leave it. Ooh, close to leveling. Which might mean that since there's 2 fights to go through, all I have to do is, after the first fight, if I get experience, they'll level up, and that will be slightly easier. Phew, I finally made it to the gate. Took me a while, but I finished all the shopping I wanted to do in Crossbell. I guess it's time to get my papers checked and head on back home to Calvard. Look at these vehicles. That doesn't look great, that like sticker on the not flat surface. Not a sticker, but... Recently, a delivery truck got in a serious accident not long after passing through Tangram Gate. It doesn't make sense. The road past here is always clear. What could have caused the accident? That's, you know, hinting at the plot. Beyond this gate is Calvardian territory. Do you have some business here? Ooh. Train. Ooh, that's pretty spooky. No map? I don't like not having a map that shows where you are. Past this point, there's the Crossbow Guardian Force's freight line. Unauthorized entry is strictly prohibited. Okay, so that's the gate. This is where we conduct basic inspections for cars coming to or going to or coming from Calvard. You know, considering how cheap this gate is, they could probably plow right through it if they really wanted to. I assume that's a reference to the future. Nothing unusual to report, sir. There's no need to worry when I'm on duty. I guess this is where I want to go first, because this is side stuff. I feel like we've met this guy, but it's probably just a reused model. This fine establishment has everything a traveler needs if there's a holdup getting into Crossbell for whatever reason. You four looking for something to eat, too? The other day, these people calling themselves members of a fisherman's guild came and handed me a recipe for a fish hot pot. A stroke of serendipity, in my book. Fish is pretty nutritious. I bet the guardsmen would love to get a taste of it. Oh yeah, might as well teach you guys how to make it too. Sit down and enjoy it together sometime, alright? This is one issue I have with this game. If I were playing this without a guide, I would not have spoken to him twice, because that first part of the talk feels like how it should end. So it necessitates talking to the people over and over until they clearly repeat themselves, which is just not it's not how you would actually interact in reality. Munch munch. Oh. My plan is to wind down and head back home on the bus tomorrow. Munch munch. Ah, it's too good. Too delicious. Our mess hall's food is definitely scrumptious, I'll give it that. But I think Long Lao Tavern and Inn over in the city would give it a real run for its money. The barracks or a restaurant? Which one has better food? This is gonna be like, you can rest here if you want. Looking for a place to rest? Do whatever you'd like. Can't guarantee that your stay is gonna be comfortable though. So I don't think I need to rest, everyone's full. Treasure chest on the second floor. There is a soldier suit. No one here. Let's go to the end first and work my way back. Soldier suit. How did Clarice Seeker decide her eldest daughter's name? She wanted to raise a girl who could take no L's. I hate it. It's great. It's a good joke. But it's clearly not dated to when this was originally released, because I don't think like L as a like a loss was really a common term when this was originally released. Equipment. Soldier suit gives more strength. That's probably worth it for him. Ooh, it's even better too. Great. How much strength? 2 strength. 4 defense. 2 ADF is better. And these two are squishy, so I'm going to have them prioritize speed. And they're ranged, so I need to talk to them, so I don't want to talk to them. It's the bear! Rumor says Deputy Commander Bills and your Chief Sergei go way back. On top of that, they even talk on the phone every so often. Could they be... you can forget that nonsense. But you're the one who brought it up. What a weirdo. I guess up here's where we're gonna fight people. Ooh, that massive port city you see on the other side of the river is Altair. Up until the signing of the Non-Aggression Pact, Calvar was frequently conducting drills up around Tangram Hill all the time. It honestly felt like we were living our lives at gunpoint. Oh, the special sports section, right? Good work solving those monster attacks last month. Couldn't have been easy. Haha, we barely scraped by. If Zeit had not come to our rescue, I doubt we would be standing here right now. Hey, don't be so hard on yourselves. Pretty sure Deputy Commander Bells is expecting great things from you, so try not to let her down. Gone, done. Now I go talk to her, and then it will be the classic fight 2 battles, one against normal soldiers, and then one against like competent soldiers. Maybe I should talk to Noel first, but... Finally arrived, have you? I've been waiting, Special Support Section. Thanks for coming on such short notice. It means a lot that you're turning to us, Deputy Commander Sergeant Major Seeker. I'm sure you're aware. We're here about your support request. Can't really say I was too hot about the idea myself. Oh, but you still came nonetheless? That's surprisingly commendable of you, Orlando. There's no need to be embarrassed about seeing me after such a praiseworthy feat. You heard that? Haha, heard you? There was no need. Your face told me all I needed to know. Now, I'd like to go ahead and explain the details of the support request. Please, by all means. Hehe, well then. If you would do the honors, Seeker. Yes, ma'am. What we want from you is pretty straightforward, really. You see, we're conducting a combat training session for the new recruits today. And we'd like for the SSS to serve as their opponents. You want us to fight CGF members? They may be recruits, but we would be foolish to underestimate them. The Guardian Force is renowned for their combat prowess, after all. You're well informed, Miss McDowell. Besides, training with them will only improve your own ability in the long run, right? I think it's quite the deal, don't you? Excuse me, why exactly did you choose the SSS in particular for this request? I do not mean to downplay our skills when I say this, but I believe there are other, more qualified choices for prowess in combat. For example, the Bracer Guild? Tio, wait a second. I was actually wondering the same thing. Everyone knows that practicing against stronger guys gives you better results. Why didn't you ask the Bracers? Hell, you still could if you wanted. Surely you aren't just grasping at any chance to slip away from me, Orlando, because that's how I see it. Gulp. To answer your question, of course, given that the SSS has only been operating for 2 months, veteran bracers would be a better choice in terms of raw power. However, you four were able to solve the monster attack case where the Guardian Force couldn't. That, in and of itself, is quite special. To be more specific, you all operate under unique circumstances that, in turn, allow you to shift your focus away from just pure strength. Unique circumstances? Take Randy, for example. Everyone at Belgard Gate goes on and on about how he's exceptional in combat, how exceptional he is in combat. I would think even the Bracer Guild would find him a very valuable asset. Seriously? Randy? That's the first I've heard of this. I wasn't expecting to hear something like that when I woke up this morning. I thought it was already established that he was competent. We're Team Randy. Don't you think you should have told us something that big? It's old news. Besides, it's not really the kind of thing to just bring up over breakfast. My lovely self aside, I gotta be honest. I'm really not too pumped about this. If you wish to sit on the sidelines, you have my permission. I just thought you'd have a tad more gratitude for the one who recommended you to the SSS in the first place. You just had to pull that card. I get it, okay? Wise decision. Something tells me that the deputy commander is going to milk that for as long as she can. Back to the topic at hand. I think we understand what you want from us. When exactly does this training session start? I can mobilize the guardsmen immediately. Are you ready to begin as well? I hope you came well prepared. Let's get this started. We should be good to go. Good. Speaker, if you would show them to the parking lot. The training session will be held there. What a weird place to fight. Yes, ma'am. It's like, oh yeah, let's just take this out to the parking lot. Everyone, follow me. Drill participation. It's always the parking lot. It's time for your combat training session to begin. This will be a 4-on-4 fight. You will have to use each of your strengths strategically if you want to come out on top. We're up against the special sports section. I've heard there are no slouches. Look, isn't that Randy Orlando? Ah, crap. Are we gonna be okay? Didn't the rumors say he tried to get with one too many girls and got fired? So he's just some playboy, then. If that's true, then how strong can the guy really be? Heh, how about we show him what we're made of? That'll bring him down a peg or two. They certainly seem to have some opinions about you, Randy. Yeah, for newbies, they've got some spunk. You want to show me what you're made of? Come on then, I'll give you a free lesson. Except for the fact that we're being paid to do this mission, so it's not really a free lesson. Orlando, keep your comments to yourself. Why just me? Everyone, advance! These guys are no joke. She clearly has them trained well. They pulled their weapons out. They may be new recruits, but we shouldn't underestimate them. Now, commence the operation. Now, I have no idea what I'm going to do. They don't even have that much HP. Assignment pending. That's funny that they're all assignment pending. That's a good joke. Let's use Chrono Down. Let's target these guys first. She will... summon Zeit? Yeah, she'll summon Zeit. There's no real reason for this to be a separate action, really, right? 'Cause all he does is show up. Oh, he actually goes way later. Okay, that's why. Ooh, that's spooky. So she's going to Holy Bullet. Now everyone else almost... maybe now almost everyone else is fully charged. Ooh, big AoE. Big AoE. But he messed up. And gets countered. Now he activates. Defense down, AT delay. Chrono down. She will... Ice Hammer? So they will move before her turn. Target him. Hope that it stays in good AoE. I think he'll... you know what? He's not the tank. Lloyd's the tank. Let's just target Mr. Ranged. I'm gonna be a little safe and just move back here. And then he's gonna move up a bit. I don't want to let other people take aggro, assuming they target nearest first. They're paralyzed. I could use arts just to attack them. Heavy axe slice, not good. I'm gonna need to heal. Great slice. Oh, okay, he did bounce back. They will at least be hit by the ice hammer. Big hit. Who's next turn? Okay, Shooter Boy's next turn, so that's fine. Then she will not need to heal. Like, she'll need to heal soon, but I think they will be fine. I could Galleon Tower. It's also a blind, but it also costs way too much. I think I'm fine using one more art. Holy Bullet. Full heal. I feel so strong. I think I can ignore that guy for a bit. Haha, got him. Oh, but bounced out of the AoE. What a shame. He would have been hit by the ice hammer if the counter hadn't gone through. And that guy's frozen, that's good. We don't want to attack. Okay, that guy's got an art. I think I want to try to focus... I want to keep the aggro off of the backline a little. He's gonna die on his next turn, so I don't need to worry about that. This is a little suboptimal. I kind of don't want to try to that. I think for now... maybe triple burst. I did just now realize that the AoE is on the ground right there. I have not been paying enough attention to that. Tier, Tira. Let's just use Tier. Let's hope that this doesn't do too much damage. It's just aerial, that's fine. Don't want him to die. He died. Well, he didn't die, this is a casual fight. Shooter Boy is not much of a threat. We'll have her kill this guy. And then charge Shooter Boy. He charges Shooter Boy. And Shield doesn't move out of Shooter Boy's range. Can she attack? I don't think so. Yeah. And Lloyd's gonna get hit again. But then he gets a free heal. Can I move and then use a craft soon enough? Not really. So I think I'm gonna take the slight loss of CP and just get the heal in. On the assumption that I won't be able to heal before the next fight. Long stun shot. Paralyzed. Yeah, over. We kind of messed up if we get a bunch of Sepith from killing these guys, because that would basically be robbing them. Yeah, it's a lot of robbery. That's enough. I knew they'd be strong. Not that strong. Especially that Orlando guy. Guess those rumors were true after all. There you go. Over in a flash. Hey, you guys didn't do half bad for newbies. You've still got a way to go to catch up with us, though. Damn it. You sure know how to... You sure let that get to your head quick, Randy. But that aside, you guys really live up to what I'd expected from the CGF. Agreed. If we had let our guard down for even a second, we could have easily lost. But now our request should be complete. Thanks for reminding me, Teotot. Well, Deputy Commander, it's been great and all. We're gonna have to excuse ourselves for today. So, Lloyd, what's on the schedule? Oh, who said you were to only participate in one battle? Say what now? There's more? Sergeant Major Seeker. Yes, ma'am. All troops, attention. Yes, ma'am. Deputy Commander Bells, what exactly do you want from us? I think it should be obvious. You will continue the combat training. Now you will engage the recruits under Major Seeker's command. I'm also gonna S-craft break for everyone and instantly one-shot the fight, but not one-shot. I think it's gonna be fairly low HP. The hell? You didn't mention that we'd be fighting 2 consecutive battles, and now that Noelle's with them, we're outnumbered. How's that for fair? Wasn't the support request called Guardian Force Drill Participation? Isn't it only natural for you to continue with their training in like a proper mentor, Randy? You can't be serious. You defeated the 4 recruits quite handily. With the additional strength of Sergeant Major Seeker, I think your abilities will be about equal for now. I see the logic, yes. Haha, it looks like the Deputy Commander is craftier than we thought. Sorry about this. I know this challenge came out of the blue and all, but I plan to use this as a way to gauge my own strength. I'm going to go all out. Let's make this a good one, alright? Damn it. How am I supposed to say no now? It appears we have no choice in the matter. You may not have been expecting this, but let's go all out, same as Sergeant Major Seeker. Let us make the best of the situation. Now that we're all on the same page, I'll be officiating the match this time. CGF at the ready. She has 2 guns. Alright, if the Sergeant Major is on our side, we'll be unstoppable. This time, we'll be unstoppable. Yeah, let's do this. Our opponents are 4 CGF recruits, plus a Sergeant Major. They're all combat experts, except for the fact that 4 of them are recruits. From the looks of it, we've already recovered from our last fight. We can't hold back. You said it. Begin. And it's... Okay, I don't need to S-craft instantly. Does she have Forte? She only has Forte. She doesn't have, like, La Forte. a good holy bullet. They're all at 200, so that's a waste of time. I might just... What a lame arc. I can get 3 or 3. Who do I want to hit? Do I want to hit... I think I want to hit ranged guy. I think I do this, then shoot Seeker once to knock her back a little. Then use Lloyd's Burst for extra Sepith. I actually shouldn't kill her here, that's bad. Because that's going to mess with the AoE for this. Because I could have targeted her and maybe hit them all. And that would have been better, but it works out fine anyway. Ooh, AoE. Big hit. And then she will just holy bullet. Big hit. Ooh. He burns to death. So beat this guy up. Ooh, we get a free team rush. That's kind of dirty. But I'm not going to use the team rush, because I would much rather use it to restore... I'd rather restore a little more CP and HP instead of using the team rush. Ah, might as well. It might finish the battle here, yeah. That one's even faster. Look at all that. So much Sepith for free. It's totally fair to rob it from the Sergeant Major, right? Battle scope. I still don't know what S-tablets are. Cease! Damn it. Still no good. We even had Sergeant Major Seeker with us. How pathetic can we get? You all really are strong. I guess I'm still pretty inexperienced. Haha, there's no need to be humble. You had us on the ropes there. Once you took charge and all, everyone else's skills shot up. Heh, guess that's why they call you the hope of the CGF or whatever it is. Haha, I'll take that as a compliment. I'll take a compliment. Troops, listen and listen carefully. This is the strength of people who have fought the Mafia and monsters in live combat. It is clear that your experience is nowhere near sufficient as things stand. And to make matters worse, the Crossbow Guardian Force isn't allowed to conduct any large-scale training operations. Yet despite all that, there are still many ways to acquire that experience you need. Now that you're in the CGF, continue to apply yourself daily in order to protect the citizenry and Karaspel as a whole. Yes, ma'am. I like the enthusiasm. As a reward, I'll make special, independent training regiments for each and every one of you after you return to your posts. Until your official assignments have been decided, you'll stick to them daily. Are there any questions? Eek. Hehe. She really is as good as they come, isn't she? I would expect no less from the most capable woman in the CGF. Good work, you four. Thanks for your efforts. I think this ended up... Thanks to your efforts, I think this ends up being a worthwhile training session. I'm glad you think so. Honestly, I'm a bit worn out now. Then let's not stand and talk. Would you mind coming with me to the commander's office? Not at all. Thank you once again, everyone. Your participation in today's training session will no doubt prove to be an invaluable experience for our guards. No need for thanks, ma'am. This has been a great experience for us too. It's not every day that we get to fight against trained professionals like the Guardian Force. I agree. It certainly gave us a great deal of food for thought on how to improve ourselves too. Plus, it felt good to lay the smackdown on some of the CGF. No offense. We would have set a bad example if we lost after all your colorful boasting beforehand. You must be relieved that you were able to walk the talk. Man, Teotot, you never think about pulling your punches once in a while. You ever think about pulling your punches once in a while? Haha. She got you there, Randy. Hehe. Well, regardless of the result, I'd recommend that you all stay on your guard from here on out. We'll make sure to contact the SSS if we ever require your assistance again. Though we can't publicly support your endeavors, know that we're rooting for you. Thank you, ma'am. We'll do the same. That's done. So, now, considering how long it's been now, I'm going to be finishing up for today shortly. But I'm going to begin, so I'm going to head back to Crossbell. I'm going to head to St. Ursula's to talk to the, 3 people that apparently have events. Wait, did I run past the... It's over here. Okay, I want to skip this, but I can't. Yes, I'm going to head back. There's a few optional events at St. Ursula Medical College that I'm going to do. That to get there, I need to go from the south. And the south exit is off of West Street. No, this is west, obviously. I'm not intelligent. I'm dumb. Oh no, it comes from the station. Here. I go here. I take the bus to St. Ursula. The 3 people I'll talk to briefly. Then I'll return. And that's about where I will stop for today before heading out to West Crossbell Highway when I am back. Mr. Hayworth. Hello everyone. It's been a while. I wasn't expecting to meet you here. Well, ever since that last case, we've been getting a lot more jobs outside of the city. Are you working right now too? Indeed, I came to St. Ursula today to sell some equipment and non-perishables. I'm really starting to appreciate my orbital car. It makes the trips remarkably easier. I'm happy to see your business is doing well. So him, Shizuku, and Cecile, which is 3rd floor side building. There's probably plenty of people with funny little comments like her. I usually carry around this book about autopsies. Is that weird? When I was having lunch with Lytton, he threw a big fit and told me not to read it while eating. Personally, I would lose my appetite if I saw the book's illustrations as well. Especially if I was eating meat or the like. Maybe, but it doesn't faze me at all. Yeah, I think there's a point where there's certain things you kind of have to get desensitized to. And that's probably not uncommon. She's awake. This is her room. Rudely intruding. Hello everyone! This really was your room, huh, Cecil? Which means explicitly revealing that we broke into her room. Yes, it is. Though, I only use it about half of the time. I often find myself falling asleep in the hospital's break room. That doesn't sound healthy, Cecil. Classic case of overwork. No doubt. You really gotta take better care of yourself. Oh, no. I appreciate your concern, but I'm perfectly fine. I know better than to push myself past my limits. For her... Is Shizuku down a floor, or is she in the... No, she's in the other area. She's over here. On the 2nd or 3rd floor? She's right here? No, she's up a floor. I think she's 3rd floor in that top left, or leftmost room. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Lately, Cecil's been telling me all about your adventures. She even said you beat up the monsters that hurt Lytton. Well, we definitely couldn't have pulled it off all by ourselves. It was all thanks to Titan's pack. Well, even so, just hearing that you had a large role in stopping them makes me extremely happy. I know it must be hard, but keep doing your best, okay? You can count on it, Shizuku. Hey, with a cutie like you cheering us on, we're like 100 times stronger, so keep up the support, okay? Keep solving important cases like that one, maybe you'll get a strong father someday. That's quite the challenge, but we'll do our very best. There's probably stuff that I missed, but away I go. Because I'm going to be stopping soon because it has been 3 hours, and I'm trying to keep... Like, unless it's like meaningful progress, like middle of a storyline, I'm going to try to keep it to about 3 hours max. mostly to keep like a little bit of pacing. But that's, I think, the last of the optional events listed at the top of this guide that I'm using from game FAQs. And I finished that. Next time, I will be exploring West Crossbell Highway. Oh, there's a truck there. I'll be exploring this route. There's a bunch of stuff here. It looks like it's going to be a relatively long route. There's an enemy to fight on the way. It'll get to Belgard Gate. There's some things there. There's another quest I'll have to do. There's another couple quests before the actual story starts. So maybe next time I'll be able to catch up and start the main story for this quest, but for this chapter. But it might be a bit. I need to check what day. Because I'm either gonna not be doing this Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure which day. It might be Sunday that I won't be doing this. It'll be a slight one less than I would otherwise plan for, but it's not really much of a change because I'll be busy that day. Yeah, stopping here for now, and I'll be back Saturday or Sunday with more of this.